Hey there, strangers. It's time for my Twitch stream. Sorry for being a little late today. Just having a little difficulty getting out of bed today. Guess I just kind of wanted to stay under the covers and stay warm. Oh, no. Let's go ahead and make sure everything's muted there. Good. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this live here. So, gonna need to update this pretty soon. Been meaning to, just haven't taken the time to take care of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up. So, if you were here last week, I got some help from someone on the Unity forums that basically helped me get through the understanding of the iTile map. Still have a little bit of confusion as to why it's there, but the fact that you can't really, initiate it or anything along those lines makes me wonder why, but it is what it is. Let's see, release notes, no need to worry about that. So, I was working on, which section was it again? There it is. So I was working on this for a while, and this was kind of, being a problem in the whole null factor, which if you go up to my set tile parent, I was like going, oh, okay, let's go ahead and set the tile to null, and it should work now. Well, based off of the post on my on the Unity forums, the aspect of, doing it null and then refreshing the tile was the correct step. So I just wasn't doing the refresh tile and probably wasn't even doing it correctly. So, so now when we start up the game, we can see that there is going to be um, there's now a pathway that agents can kind of take with the resources blocking the path. So there's always going to be open spots around the beginning tiles, and there's always going to be, oh, that's a problem. See, I knew that there was going to be a problem at some point. So so it's not 100% yet. Hmm. Okay, so the fact that these two were um, these two were kind of causing blocking a possible spawn for an enemy city, that creates a problem. Meaning that this is one set that never branched out. That's a problem. I don't want that to happen. This one's fine. And this one's not a problem. Okay. Um, so I can't work on the spawn points yet. Um, hmm. I think what I'm gonna need to do is, instead of doing them random initially, I should start off with 4, or however many enemy cities there are. Go through that at least once, and then I'll do the random. Hmm. But at the same time, how do I make that random? Hmm. Okay. But it's looking better than where it was. So that's a positive. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I don't necessarily need all this anymore, so I can go ahead and clear all that. Yeah, let's go ahead and clear all that junk. Okay. Let's see. I need some way of, with this, it's, fairly an ordered kind of pattern. It goes down, it, it always checks in a certain direction to see uh, if there's any sets around it. So, but that's fine because it's only checking to see whether or not there's any any sets around it. Um, hmm, okay, don't really need these, so I can get rid of those. Hmm, don't really need these anymore, so I can get rid of them. Don't really need that. Okay, there goes all the unnecessary comments from previous attempts. So it's always good to kind of go and kind of clean up your code a little bit. Make sure that there's um, nothing that kind of gets in the way. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this in for now. Um, let's go ahead. Show in laws for debugging use. Remove and ready. Yeah, remain walls fine. Hmm. Do I need that? Not really. It seems like these values here are fairly automatic. Let's see. Yeah. So it should be fine there. Yeah, temp dictionary is fine. New set of tiles is fine. Pop neighbor is good. Popped wall is good. Random is gonna be good. At least I think. Hmm. Do I need it? Hmm. Okay, let's make sure that it's working properly over here. Okay, I'm gonna clear all that out. Don't really need it. Okay. At least one space. Yeah, at least one space. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so it's kind of rare for these spots to be kind of taken. Hmm. Okay, so the spawn location is always going to be 2. At least for the at least for this, and the likelihood of actually getting um, no empty spot around this zone is probably not going to happen. I mean, you would literally have to have this entire circle around it be set. But at the very least, we should figure out a way to um, make sure that there is a random spot around. Okay. So now we're going to Okay, so we have the tiles in question. Let's see, what we're going to do now is we're going to need to figure out the spawn locations. Now, public tile human city spawn locations, and that is actually a list or an array of them, because with it being surrounded by potential spawn locations, you can a player can allow for they can kind of allow for different locations to be set. Now, it could be blocked, but we're not going to necessarily limit them on that. Now, if they want if they want to block off certain spawn points, they can do that, but they're going to need to use barriers in order to do that, which is going to be like a waste of resources. So that's going to be on them. Okay, so now for the other enemy cities, we only need to worry about getting just one spawn point, which I could try to work on making the maze in order to include them, or I can just go ahead and remove a specific tile if it hasn't been set. So okay, and everything worked out perfectly fine, so we can get rid of these we can kind of work and get rid of these extra. No need to actually create variables if a single call out is enough. So, and I have to make the assumption that the preprocessor handles replacing this with the count automatically, so it doesn't have to reference it each time. Or maybe it will have to. No, it should be fine. Okay, so I don't really need that one either, so. Okay, so now we have our new locations that we're going to be working on here. So um, actually, hold on. I want to do this as a list, actually. So let's go ahead. Let's let's do this actually. So list tile. The reason why I'm doing it this way is that as the spaces around the human city becomes available, we can add that spawn location in for the human city. So does it require checks every single time? Yeah, it does, but um, we can at least um, kind of choose the um, whereabouts the spawn can be, or the human player can kind of stop it if they need to, that kind of jet. Right? Um, this will never change. The monsters will always spawn in a single tile because the likelihood of the humans opening up the other spawn point probably not going to happen. um, there's going to be too many monsters on the map for the player to be able to get their humans to attack and collect the resources right next to the monster spawn location. So I'm not going to worry about creating another one. Okay. And even then, even if um, a human does, for some unknown reason, get to the spawn location to try to put a barrier down, I'm just going to go ahead and destroy it because the monsters will always spawn, no matter what. Now, that's not to say that the player can't block off all routes from that particular spawn point. That's perfectly fine. The likelihood of them actually doing so, yeah, probably not going to happen. So, okay. So we need to get some additional functions here about um, let's get some kits and sets going for the spawn locations here. So first off, let's go ahead and comment these out for now. Okay. So private. Um, let's see. We'll pull the tile. Hit random. Random spawn. Let's see. do this 4 times. And then we're going to need to do 4 more times for the sets. So okay, so ghoul, ghost, goblin, ghoul, ghost, and goblin. And it's not really random, so okay. So there's that. Um, so keep on thinking that I should move this formula out so that I can reuse it elsewhere. Hmm. Yeah, let's see. Let's try to work on this here a little bit. Let's do private void shift tiles. Let's see, ref int row ref int column. Okay, now let's see. Let's see if this works. Oh, right, okay. Okay, and just put return null for now, just as a temporary measure. Alright, don't need to worry about returning something for set. There we go. Almost made a copy and paste mistake there. Fragment 1 must be passed with ref keyword. Okay. So there we go. Okay. Let's see if it works again. Still works. Okay. I was a little worried, but we were able to get it to work. So that's good. Okay. So what we're doing is we're removing the formula and moving it up here so that we can reuse it over and over and over again. To able to carefully see the shift of tiles. You know, without this, the map it would be, um, like a right triangle. If you watched any of my previous developments for this game, you would know that the triangle in this case would be just like a right triangle, which I mean, I guess I probably could have gone with on it. Oh, here, let me try to show it to you. So if I was to take that out, for example, should be fine. Yeah, so here's here's the triangle without, well, I say triangle, but as you can kind of see, there still would be some adjustments that need to be made in order to get it to properly work. And I was trying to tackle this before. So that's why I'm doing that shifting of the tiles around so that I can get that look of a standard like pyramid style look of a triangle. So this allows for that to happen. And because I'm doing this in order to shift the tiles around, I have to the the locations of the locations of the tiles aren't exact match with neighbors and the like. So it's one of the reasons why redo the shift tiles. I mean, I could be doing it completely wrong. Um, if if you can think of a better way for me to adjust the triangle properly and not have to use this, please let me know. Um, but based off of my my work on this so far, which I mean, let's face it, I'm a newbie when it comes to when it comes to Unity. Um, this feels like it's the only method for me to actually get that pyramid look. So, so see, I'm going to do this. Whoops, hello. There we go. There we go. Okay, so actually, wait a second. No, there needs to be more to this than what I'm doing. This requires something else to get it set. Hmm. Hmm. What to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? Hmm. Okay, let's go ahead and get um. Let's go ahead and get the randomization from down here in the make maze, seeing that I'm already doing the um, hmm. did I make critical grid a... I think that was a dictionary, right? Yeah. Hmm. Not sure, so let's just go with spawn locations. Let's just grab the just kind of grab that. Spawn locations, random range, even spawn locations count. And we'll see if that works. Probably, maybe. Does Unity have any problems with that? No, doesn't seem like it. Okay. So now we're going to need to use this. Oh, yeah, okay. That should be fine. Okay, so... Okay, so now that I'm thinking about it, gets and sets should only be, typically very small functions. You know, typically. They just get the necessary information, return it, or set the necessary information, and that's it. There shouldn't necessarily be any kind of like additional calls or anything along those lines. So as much as I might not like the fact that I'm having to set them, or that I have to actually pass these tiles into these functions, it makes it stylistically correct. So let's see. Now, question is where I should set these at. Okay. in maze is something that is going to be um, something that's going to be available throughout the lifetime. It's going to be any additional open tiles. So whenever a resource is depleted, for example, I need to be able to enter in the tile in question inside in maze. So let's see. Um, see, let's go with another set spawns. And we'll put that under into make maze. Let's see, private void, set spawns. Okay, so okay, let's go ahead and go collect these functions up here, just so I can kind of reference them down below. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Is there a shortcut key for combat all? Shift Alt A, huh? So if I do that, Shift Alt A, there we go. That's better. That's good. I wasn't sure if I would have figured that they would have had something like that, but I didn't look it up prior. So let's go ahead and then collapse this down some more so that I have kind of some room to work with this. So okay. Um, so this is after we make the maze. Okay, we're kind of going through, determining board size, initializing the list, getting um, the particular monsters in place, making it a maze, and now we're going to work on setting the spawns. Now, um, Let's see.
We'll pass, Rick. We're gonna pass. Yeah, Rick, just hit a big deal inside and pass.
Hey, Glenn, can I pump in here?
So we're going to
You want to put them in here?
be using enemy cities to um,
Oh, just get out of here.
to take care of this a little bit.
Sure. For a while. And family still.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Oh, well, your sister?
Yeah, that's not my sister.
No. It's my cousin.
Hmm. Maybe I need to actually do this a little prior for the monsters at least.
Okay, can I go?
Oh, hey! How did you use the location?
You have a location, you mean? This is a utility closet.
No, not more of a multi-purpose room. I mean, I'm gonna need to put flowers in here and some candles. They'll look great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm thinking about doing this a little bit now is the fact that the
Elias, get your fingers out of your mouth and
I don't
look.
necessarily want to keep on referencing back on what monsters are
I
available.
used to get 12 keys right where you are and the barrel hole.
See,
And
you know,
then
I
you
have
go into the
this,
main locker, they'll deny that it's there.
this case number that
Get the
kind of
key,
checks
knock 12
the
understand me?
um,
And I go, thank you.
which particular monsters are available.
City. Oh, whichever.
So,
So, tell us what your greatest strength is.
My greatest strength, I guess, would be strength.
Strength.
hmm,
Strength. Okay. And what would your greatest weakness be?
I guess bullets.
Bullets. Good. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, gentlemen, Garrett,
What are your qualifications?
how do I go about doing this a little bit?
would you say that's correct?
Yes, that's what I said.
I was going to say that's fine.
Unless it's the wrong gym.
Are you sure you don't want to go to the bathroom?
I'm fine. I'm fine. You go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
Should I be setting it here or should I be getting the enemy city? But it's not going to know
That's an interesting activity.
whether or not the tile is
I like to play tennis. Who doesn't like to play tennis?
gold, ghost, or goblin.
Hey, job interview. Did you look at yourself in the mirror before you came in? The chair needs to replace Lisa's garbage.
Hmm.
Which new alliances you want to run with?
Just pick a damn chair.
Unless we override
Sorry,
tile
So close.
and include
Oh, I'm sorry. This is where I come from, Frank.
include some booleans for this.
So, could you maybe come back later?
See, I was pretty strict on time.
Yeah, but 10 minutes wasn't enough.
Hmm.
Who's in here?
Okay, I'm sorry. Proceed. Keep going.
Also, ich kann doch noch
So when, let's see,
God, these people are all terrible.
Maybe Glenn really was getting a pretty good run.
That's a real paradigm shift.
You know, it might be rose-colored glasses, but I kind of like that
let's
chick.
see, go city
She's great
tile.
and funny. You should have hired her.
Why did
Yeah.
you say that?
She told me not to.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You said it like with your eyes. You knew that look. No way.
My eyes don't say stuff. I don't have expressive eyes.
Well, great. Then, they let the single best candidate we have take another job.
All right, what about sexy Linda Cathy? I mean, we know what you did, and maybe you want to look at her acting besides taking parts.
Oh, I looked it up. It wasn't bad.
Am I gonna have to
As you know, we love those monsters.
add some extra to tile?
And these are
Hmm.
Well, you might want to know. Did you know that the name Parker literally translates to Park Keeper? In other words, I'm supposed to keep the secrets. Noted I didn't make that connection. The name Parker also brings to mind the snobby rich people character in GGG.
Years. I'm Parker. That one's going better than most.
But Mateo, what about Parker Posey?
Hmm.
We want you. You're the only person we want.
Also sounds great, but already told the plasma donation center there was something there.
Oh no, that must be for kicks. Now you get the way we do. When you're here, you're family. Leonidas, Dennis, Olive Garden, but we are family.
Come on, Penny.
Let's see, wait a
You gotta
second.
say yes.
Okay, 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 okay,
So, this is
Okay.
interesting choice.
What? Yes.
Just asking.
Let's go number.
No.
Hmm.
Sorry. A, B, C, D, E, F.
There's no real placement for these other than. Hmm.
The flames are burning my eyes. Don't look at the flames. I swear, the sparks are coming
What
out of
was
my
that?
eyeball.
Sorry, I just had something kind of pop up on my taskbar there a little bit. Pardon me while I
Go back and stretch, guys.
I
check
hate to
something
bring
out
something
here.
light like that into our training supply.
Good evening. Excuse me, you folks still doing interviews for season 1? The Force Omega last stop has been filled. Ah, sucks. Got caught up in Claymore when we got to Portland. Everyone shut down. Hope that's okay. Well, here's my resume. Ignore the useless philosophy degree. I guess you can keep it on file or throw it away as soon as I walk out of here. And, uh, hey, there's nothing around here I should know about, like a philosophical tattoo or something, right? Oh, man, this support's in very cool. Thanks, guys. I feel like the bar is a little bit low, but feels really nice in here. If you need anyone, just give me a call.
Interesting name here.
Go back, pick up. Penny, go back for robot truck.
No.
Beep, 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 beep,
Hey,
beep, beep, beep.
what's the word?
I hate to complain, but that machine is so noisy. I don't feel like I'm training the wings of an airplane.
Well, there's the volume button, so...
It's just that when I make
This
a...
is the sound it makes, buddy.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Okay.
You firing me? When I already turned down the other job. You said we were a family.
Yep, we did, and we are, but families split up. It happens all the time. And sometimes dads burn down their homes because they can't handle the pressure. That's that.
Hey, just do this.
No, I don't know what that kind means. No, not putting him on the phone. Parker, put your dog down. You don't know that.
I'm not
Mommy was supposed to be
seeing
supervised.
not seeing
Well,
anything
you're right.
on my
You
task
are really
manager.
fine. I am doing
Weird.
fantastic.
I know you are, and I feel terrible about it. So I got you a
At
vacation
least I'm not
from the
seeing
back
anything
bummer.
that is out of the ordinary.
You think that the back bum is the answer to all of my problems?
Not a real bum.
Kill yourself.
What?
Kill yourself.
Me?
You don't get to talk right now. I am so
Wait
tired.
a second.
I have sat 90 minutes in three days. The lining of my uterus is
Okay,
coming out
that's
in
Adobe,
drops.
sure.
I have hemorrhoids so big that my doctor looked at my and said, "Whoa, have you ever had a doctor look at your and say that?" I am being carrying papers in my stomach for bowels. Okay?
I'm so...
Why haven't you killed yourself?
lot going on downstairs there, so sorry about that. Hmm. Just checking to see if there's any applications or whatnot that looks out of the ordinary here there, folks. So give me a second. Don't want someone kind of um,
All I thought was just gonna be easy. I just didn't think it was gonna be this hard. I'm on dating
not
apps
that
and
really anyone
I
would
have nothing.
get a whole lot out of me anyway, but
Aren't you gonna tell me something's firing
don't
off?
necessarily want
Maybe the future is very simple.
um, any black cats kind of screwing me over. Not that they can't do it anyway, but I'd prefer if they wouldn't. I didn't really see anything.
Hey, Andy, about that time.
My mom's cooking. Are you my mom?
It's not up to Christine to test.
No, we're looking for a
I
lake
mean,
house
I'm trying to survive, with limited resources here. So the idea of hackers and the like screwing me over seems a little counterintuitive here. You know, go after the bigger fish.
always fresher. That's what's good for you. Good doc for that. Now get that and smell. You're gonna smell the bergamot that's just risen to the top of the box, okay? It's delicious. Hey, friend.
Hmm.
I just wanted to talk to you.
Olympics liked my tweet.
That should not have any negative feelings. I've got this.
Ashot followed me,
Can't believe that I ever thought how fast you
and
could be
him
so
Kutsky followed me. Nice.
oh, I was so far off.
Here, eat it.
Where have you avoided?
I like Ham's uh,
Oh,
uh, picture on Twitter.
Thank you.
Okay. Um.
if I were ever in Infinity.
So what am I gonna do here?
Finishing off the hot punch man kickoff. You're way ahead of the others. Thank you, my parents will be so proud. They'd mind if I take 5%? Oh, sure. What was it, 75? I like aiming for high doors, man. It just
Hmm.
goes to show that if you put in the work, you kiss those frogs, eventually you're gonna find your prince. Oh, I mean, it's not a prince. You know, I was gonna go needle in a haystack, but in such a good mood, I'll go along with it. Is your hay on the floor? Yeah, that is what's happening. Ooh. Ugh.
Okay, so next time I'm just using for just standard um,
Today, the startup
information
entrepreneur
and the
launched
like.
its initiative, going the extra snazel.
A couple questions. What's a snazel? How do you go the extra snazel? You
Hmm.
probably weren't going the standard amount of snazels to begin with, right?
What does it mean?
I guess wasn't you going the extra mile?
Should I go ahead and put
Interpretation.
Basically, they just want everyone to start
the
using
actual
small buttons
tile
instead of
of
big.
these inside hex
Oh,
tile?
come on. You just put on your best cloud nine smile and then talk about whatever.
And
Talk
then
about
maybe
investments or how's your Thanksgiving plan? Oh, can we talk about
I'll put like a
GGG
string
companies?
inside here to kind of
Hey,
say,
Dad.
hey, this
I just
is,
thought of your patent dementia.
um,
The point is, human connection is what sets us apart from online retailers.
should I
Human
modify
touch.
this
So this
to
stuff is for
include
connecting their Amazon? Like how we
the
used to talk when we were tapping cats?
specific tile and use these? Oh boy, kind of loud downstairs, but not much I can really do about it. So, um, let's see.
My motorcycle was a top priority. It was just
Um,
yeah. Hello.
what do I want to do? What do I want to do?
Hi. Miss Daly's going to be helping you out today. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing
Hmm.
today? Great. We're here in town visiting our son. He's getting ready for school. How do you?
You wouldn't believe some of his stories. I'm just going to give you the top 10.
Ah, that is a fantastic drill you're looking at.
Let's see.
Is this the one that lit up about a 90?
Well, they both have their pros and cons,
When I'm
but
doing
this one
the
is
initiating
really
of
good. So that's a plus. Can't get enough of that.
tiles here,
It also drills like super deep holes, or less deep. If you just don't push it in all the way.
There. I just want to say thank you for supporting local business instead of shopping
To
online.
be honest, I probably would have got this on Amazon, but I needed it delivered.
Ah,
Well, you know you have same-day delivery, right?
okay, nobody asked me.
Don't you have to pay for fries?
No, it's totally free.
okay.
That's movie music.
We've got music. Go check out our CD selection. It's all on clearance. What are you doing? You look good in that.
No, I don't.
Let you touch the teapot.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty comfortable. At least it's at least I don't scream all day at my school.
Hmm.
Did I mention he's a medical student?
Mm-hmm. You did quite a few times.
Oh, and just drilling, but didn't mean to interrupt.
I know.
My cousin beat fried turkey last year, but he didn't go out completely. Huge utility. Watch his face just melt. Dad had a ton of faith in his kid. He was telling me it was as good as done, but really he felt it's like one of those first times traumatic moments. Anyway, be safe. Gobble gobble.
I want to be able to get these
He has lips, and he doesn't appreciate his eyebrows. Forget it. This is a stupid initiative anyway.
I'll get a hold of him.
set to their specific
I hate to smile every day like an idiot.
Yeah, well, it's harder for you that week than it is for me.
locations
Yeah,
here.
how good are baseball?
I don't know, just not strong. Strong as yours. Oh, please. I had complete musculofacial control, and I was semi-pro to my own ACLF. That's complicated.
Hmm.
Look,
Whatever.
you want to go to bed?
No.
You sleep anyway. I mean, how do we test it?
See if they smile while I'm listening. I don't see how we can force that.
Have to be the honor system.
Honor
To
system for what?
instantiate is still
Well,
the
what are we doing there?
Let's bottle of scotch?
Nice scotch.
Yeah, I guess we're doing this?
Sure.
the tile in question
One,
there.
two, three.
Hmm.
So this one, if I'm remembering correctly, has a notable unfractionated shock group, superior pitch gripping strength. Oh, there it is, right there. I was right.
One question is, are these better for 10-volt, like the older generation 18-volt batteries? Because I'm installing a
Oh,
inverter
got it.
in my shed, and with the plus sign,
Oh, okay. Oh, got it.
okay, bye.
Hmm.
Supposed to be 55% charge, right?
Oh, hey guys, what are you doing here?
Oh, hi.
This is we're visiting. It's our son who's in medical school.
No,
Hi,
it's
hi, I'm Jonah. It's nice to meet you.
Okay, X and Y is being changed, is the values being pulled from the hex value. That's being used down here again.
this is your son,
Right.
hmm? Oh. And how long have you been in medical school?
I'm in third year.
Wow, 3 years. That's wow.
Listen, do you carry men's briefs? We need a men's small or a boy's best.
Okay, you know what? I think we can probably just find it on our own. So thank you
Hmm.
so much
So
for all your
top
help.
parent should have changed the
Okay. So men's underwear and tile club.
I needed returning this. It was
yeah new
a birthday
tile.
present for my wife, but I don't need it anymore.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? We don't take that information anymore. Sorry.
Is there anything
Yeah,
you could do?
so
It was really expensive,
that
and
should
I
be
can't
popping
afford
up
a quartz.
right over
That's all I have
the
left.
human city, or at least it
If your
should,
boyfriend
but
finds
tile set, new tile set. Okay.
Dr. Spence, where are Richard and Marilyn?
I told Marilyn we're searching in the phone charger so that should confuse him a little bit. Look, I know this may seem a little weird.
He's saying good man.
Long story short, I dropped out of business school in advanced capacity work, and that's not just more work and risk. Life has really high expectations.
That's so weird. It was my parents' generation. Top shelves for a living one day.
Anyway, I told them that I'm sitting at home and I was
Sorry, folks. I'm
kind of. And then one day led to another, and now a new rotation is an opportunity.
And what rotated from?
trying to
I need to
clear through the smoke here to try to
Don't worry, I'll get back to you.
focus my mind a little bit here.
So you're electronics?
Yeah, whatever. We're not gonna say anything yet.
Oh, come on, give me some credit. I'm not gonna out you to your parents. But I do think it would be highly irresponsible to let them leave without getting their
So,
hands on
Oh,
them.
sorry.
Ideally, they have photos.
No, no, that's you don't need to.
Hello there. How's your day going? Right? Wow. That's quite the full garden. I got a shovel, a tarp, and some duct tape, kitchen knives, garbage bags, and a saw.
okay, so let me kind of focus my brain down here a little bit, show you guys what I'm currently dealing with here. Okay, so um,
We're actually out for
earlier on in the code,
talking about.
You know, when we
um,
did day shifts, Tile 9
right
was
up
always
here
running
in
late.
the setup scene, for example. Okay,
Oh,
this
good.
determines
It's gonna give us a new
what
neighbor.
monsters and
Okay,
how
we'll do
difficult
that since I'm studying
um,
field social
the
studies.
map is going to be, how large it's going to be, that kind of thing. Um, now, uh,
Bill was always right.
the
Okay, guys, I had one thing. Nice sales lady. Where do we
um,
go with this?
You know, actually, the more I know about your life, the more able I am to direct you to items that would assist you in your living space.
It seems like
the
I never worked retail, so it's been focused on key areas.
we're adding in the specific tiles into enemy cities,
Not gonna sell?
tiles that we get from Unity,
Really? I remember that.
because those are set.
modules. Got it. Thank you.
Um,
Lena? You know how you always tell us not to leave the suitcase open,
yeah,
especially when demons are around, because one of them might distract you with
Ghost Village, Ghoul Village, Goblin Village, and Human Village. So these are kind of already being set
because it is happening.
prior,
We're so scared that you'd be mad at me.
I am that.
so that they're
So
used inside here
It's
properly,
a lot more jokey
or at
stuff
least
than
they're
you
placed
walking
accordingly.
around looking for it.
No, this is not a joke. I
Um,
really, really hate you.
I hate you too.
now
He would brush in on these strange hosts of owl
there's
galaxies.
nothing else that I can really do with the tile
we're glad to see that you're engaging with customers.
of these.
You know the deal with that. Tracks their order forms.
Okay, I will get on that.
So
But I want to do it
Why?
because I love it.
so it makes me wonder. There's nothing that I can.
Um, Assuming that is
Let me let me let me rephrase
that
this.
comes with nothing.
There's nothing that is
Why are you telling him that he's stupid?
separating these tiles
I'm going to
out,
leave it. And if you
other
want to
than
go ahead.
other than what it
Take
kind
care
of
now.
looks like,
And
kind of
see
aspect.
you guys later.
Yes, these are in different locations, but there's nothing really outright stating this is a ghoul, this is a ghost, this is a goblin. I could totally say that this is a ghoul, and the programming wouldn't necessarily care because it's a tile. So I have to figure out another way of um, separating the values out a little bit more. There we go.
Why are you lying to your parents about working here?
So,
That is a simple one.
how
So fine if you're working at Cloud Nine.
No, well,
how shall I do it?
Their expectations are insane. They wouldn't have been happy unless you were privileged.
Shall I make
Ridiculous. Whose son are
hex
you?
tile?
Jimmy Carter is 5'10",
with say
considered like personally
private
the best
string?
offensive lineman.
Sure, I can.
Thank you so much.
We'll just
Why did you throw it in my face? I didn't even throw it at my legs or my chest.
see.
Try to see the face.
Yeah.
Um,
Too bad. That would have been a good one.
village name.
So you just lied to
Okay,
your
we'll
parents?
just do
Where's my cup?
Like, it's a
village name is
Yeah,
equal
no,
to
it's just
null.
outside though. Except for what?
So
Well,
it's
sure.
just nothing inside there right at the moment.
I'm not on that plan. We're on a shared data plan,
Um,
which actually saves them money. In this family, none of you have ever lied to your parents.
I once stole money from my mom and then I broke the window and flushed a jewelry down the
let's
toilet.
see. We'll do
Exactly.
I used to tell my parents I was meeting friends at Nino's Pizza, but really, I was eating alone at Nino's Pizza.
My parents still came out to target me. Really? What? I think this is great.
so. We'll do get village
Does it come with more character? Not necessarily. If
string,
my objective, well, you're not going to be here that much longer anyway.
Oh, where are you going?
I don't know, but it sounds like I'm moving.
and then we'll do
Small, temporary.
Oh,
set village,
No, not at all. No, there are definitely parts of this job that I don't really like.
and
I
then
just
we'll
don't
do
enjoy the pleasant stuff. Cool. That's enough.
string
I guess I'll
temp.
pay your backpack.
No, you don't have to.
I love it.
I hate to see her go, but I love looking at
There
her
we go.
stuff.
So now
I could have made your butthole.
Hextile has the potential of having
Wow, I must say,
specific
how
strings
did you like
associated with them.
Oh, what about
Um,
you?
Well, mostly raising this little guy. Garrett, this is Jalen. Jalen, this is Danny.
Hey, Danny.
can I do
So you tracked down my ex-girlfriend of 19 years and made her say I was the hottest
set
guy on the planet and
names?
told Tiro to stop smiling and you couldn't listen to it?
Hey, what? That's way harder.
Okay, all right.
Something that will kind of be
Okay, well,
standard.
first down, another dime.
Not
Another
sure.
dime?
Oh, actually, let's go ahead and use that
See,
one.
it's weird.
Oh, really?
Every time we had sex, I was horny again by noon.
Interesting.
Don't need
Interesting.
that.
You might want to clean your toolbox and carton it out more often.
There you go.
We'll use Chrome, seeing that that's what I've been using for my programming as it is anyway.
So, oh no. We don't care to if you help us so well.
Great. Well, we don't have time connection, but I appreciate you. Have a happy day.
Okay, no.
Um,
No, actually,
forgetting exactly what they are called
You don't have to.
because I work here.
What?
in Java.
He does. Yep. He works in the cafe all the time. He brings his med books and he studies.
No.
Basically something that I can just kind of use that basically says, hey, if I use this
I've
word,
been here.
it's going to mean this, for
This
example.
is my
So
job.
that I can actually do comparisons with it. Like, hey, this word means human, this word means school, this word means goblin, so on and so forth.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
You just keep talking. If managing this store makes you happy, then let me manage it.
Oh, I'm not the manager. I'm just a floor worker.
I'm so sick of this.
This is hard to watch.
I know, but
okay. So now we're going to do C sharp
You're fired.
programming.
You are gross, like
Um,
and unpleasant to be around. So why don't you just go be a doctor?
Set strings.
I see what you're doing here.
Then I say get out of here, Jonah! Go chase your dreams and let imagination be your guide.
Uh, right, I appreciate whatever this is, but
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not that.
I'm staying.
Let's see.
Well, in your defense, like we need to
What
follow
am I
through.
looking for again?
Thank you. Thank you. That's
What?
kind.
Or not? Not.
You too?
I know what I'm looking
Oh
for,
yeah.
but I'm trying to figure out what
That's
was
okay.
it called.
Listen,
Um,
don't be dramatic, Jonah. Think about it. He wants to please you so much that he spent 3 years constantly bugging me.
um,
You should be so good. No. Oh, look. He was lying about his job, not about who he is. He's a good person. That is real.
You know what? He's right. I mean, if he's happy and Natalie's okay with it, we should be happy too.
Natalie? Who's Natalie? His fiance. His
read
what?
only is
Oh, I didn't know. And how long has he been
it's good.
gone?
That's kind of what I need to do.
3 years.
3 years. Wow, that's as long as I've known him. I, I'm sorry, Alicia. I'm just weirded out by the
What
whole
were they
experience.
called?
Well, yeah, it was also good.
No, of course.
In that case, have you seen the Garden State?
Let me try to do it this way. Java.
Natalie.
Um,
I'm sorry. What's her last name?
Portman?
Portman. Natalie
set
Portman.
value
Someone
added
told you that he's
is
engaged to Natalie Portman.
doesn't change.
He was lying. He was lying about that too.
Oh no, I don't.
I knew it was weird. I knew it. I read in that magazine article that she was married to some dancer.
You know what? Actually, now that
What am
I
I
am
looking
thinking
for?
about
What
it,
am
I
I?
have seen Natalie in our store.
No.
And she was all up on Jonah.
What
That's
am I
all
looking
right.
for? What am I looking for? What
Totally.
am I looking for? What
It
am
was
I
so
looking for?
nice meeting you.
It's been a while since I've used them, so
That explains why she wouldn't hug me in the airport.
Who would you hug in an airport? Who?
You ever think about all the things you can't do because you're in a wheelchair?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do.
But you know what? Moving means it's a lot easier. That's
um,
why Mom put a conversion ramp on the clock. You may have a point. Do you ever think about how no one's ever going to love you as much as I love you? Personally, I think you're
unchangeable
always going to get
variable. Let's
along with
see.
Lois. Speaking of Lois, remember that time when you were a kid and your dad abandoned you at a gas station?
What?
Final.
What?
Why are we doing this?
Because. Fun.
So yeah, no, I told my mom I was going to a movie with Natalie Portman, and she thought I was seeing a movie with Natalie Portman. She was so happy and proud.
Can she believe it? Which is the weirdest part because you were so happy.
Yeah, well, you gotta believe me. Well, no more secrets. Except, of course.
This is kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, just pretty much.
Yeah, let's see.
Right, right. We wouldn't want anybody to.
C sharp static
Uh,
final.
Lois and I have kind of been dating.
Okay.
Hasn't that been going on for a while?
No, well, yes, but we've been keeping it secret. Now we're announcing it.
Yep.
So, what do you want from me?
Nothing.
You just thought you'd never mind.
Are we doing announcements? Carl lost my favorite pet.
For fields, they're almost exactly the same thing. There are different rules for initialization. Sometimes final fields in Java act like const fields in C sharp. In this case, I think they're effectively equivalent. Hmm.
How do main managers come into play here, Steve?
Yeah, managers, district managers, assistant managers, regional
A lot of
managers, a
managers.
ton of managers, big fella. Anyway, Nina and I came total this year because, her whole family's in hospice. Oh, and my in-laws are in town, which is
Okay.
super. But anyways, you paid us up pretty well.
Oh, that's real kind of you, officer. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and I need to go, but I gotta go, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure you don't want to leave your baby overnight anyway, buddy.
Overnight?
Maybe for a week.
So,
They put you up in a hotel for 7 days because they're always quality finishing, so you never get a chance to have that nice live-in feel.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it safe. Thank you.
Oh, great! And it worked out perfect because you
So
don't
let's
hire
see.
personnel, and they only give you one hotel room for this trip.
so you and Nina would have had to share a room?
Yeah, we didn't make it work last year. I just grabbed one in the bathtub. Well, she made love to the bed log.
Hmm. Don't really necessarily need it to be public. So can I do private
Yeah, okay, that's weird.
cons string
We're gonna be really skipping on hotel stuff, okay?
Oh, yeah, no, no, I
human
figured it was
city
fine.
I don't think Amy told us what original seats on the list.
Oh, check under concierge to give us the tickets.
I'm sorry, we have to check in on things later. We're replacing the stage. Everyone is okay?
Oh, look at that. United in fine print, just right there in big bold letters.
You guys, corporate events
so
are midway through the year,
go
and there's a bit of a lull.
ghost
That's the registry for sex offenders.
No, it's not about sex offenders.
goblin.
They're not sex offenders.
It's not illegal to hire a sex offender, but it is illegal to hire a mental health professional.
Well, I've heard that if you're verified as total bug because slash not bug.
But we do need to talk.
Me? Okay. Talk to me, baby.
Hey, what?
Okay, so
Good. Something's happened. Yeah. The officer was sent home. I think he's a new convict.
Look, I'm not a weapons officer.
He's a refugee. You have to enter his role at a different page.
A refugee? Oh, I had no idea.
So, what fired you tonight?
I committed no crime. Then why do you want to know?
I was a refugee, not a fugitive.
Well, then
okay,
maybe you should tell us
so
sooner.
Oh, you don't realize
now
that
that that's kind of set,
Yeah, if all sorts of like random destruction and
now I
beheadings and
can kind
murders,
of
right?
Yeah, Billy Lopez had enough
go down
time.
here where the board setup
Please
is,
welcome to the trio.
and we're going to go ahead and put in the
I'm not getting into this with you.
names into these.
Frank.
Hey,
Um,
Who's Nesta?
you see, it's part of the Civil War. Our Civil War was about slavery.
Actually, the Civil War was not about slavery. That's
hmm.
misconception.
No, not a misconception. Good people disagree.
Wrong.
Look, I've
But
never.
again,
The point is, Saeed, you're all in. And on behalf of everyone in America, we welcome you. Come on, talk harder. He's going through stuff.
instantiate is still a tile.
Just get away from the baby for a few hours. Who let you guys bring the baby? He's screaming.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Uh-oh. Who let these dogs out? Hey, Jack. Come on, guys. I mean, we're at a conference. What's going
Board
on?
grid has been set up with.
The current management. Yes, Commissioner.
Who is it though?
You're running through everything
Get this. These are
with
innocent
board
children.
grid.
No.
I don't know.
Anything, Clark? What? We got $10 million left. Okay, I'm gonna say what everyone's thinking. How do we know he's not
Hmm.
ISIS?
Are you haven't heard of ISIS? Are you even on Instagram?
Relax. They've had these guys for years. I mean, truthfully, out of everyone in the store, Saeed is the one person I'm sure isn't a terrorist.
You think I could be a terrorist?
Yeah, definitely you could be a terrorist. Definitely.
I would not betray you all, never.
You're Saeed.
You pulled the shovel out front?
What? Hasn't he been through enough?
Okay, so
Thrown out for a cold, but somehow
hex value
you're Saeed.
is the tiles kind of contained within the board grid. So I need to
We've always got a cool.
And have parents on the set.
I need to be able to add in the enemies, but I'm not quite sure what those enemies are.
Your lanyards and your rupees. Sometimes it feels like prehistoric times.
Really? Because it sort of looked like he was looking for tobacco plants and stole these off my table.
We know nothing, Maria. And what happens when the real Colt McCann Jim Bronco try to get you? That's on my mind. Can we beg you?
Yes, yes, yes.
See,
Thank you for
this
your
is the
business.
problem that
Great.
I'm kind of facing a little bit.
Yeah, he said so.
So
Let him be, I guess.
the
Time to get
the
my
tiles that
clothes
are
on.
included in enemy cities, even though I'm let's take for example case number one here. Okay, enemy cities could be filled with ghost, or goblin. Okay, it's not and or. Okay, so when you look down at the
If anyone deserves help, it's
um,
you, don't you?
setup,
Thank you.
I mean, you can be deported literally
the
anywhere.
number of enemies
Maybe
being
that's the
one
real reason.
could
Because
be
that's
any
who
one
you
of
are.
these different
I'm Dr. Bennett.
any
My
one of
name
these
is
different
John.
tiles,
No,
and
Hey, Saeed.
I don't know
What you doing?
I left my lunch.
which one they are.
Oh, let's demonstrate or something? Apple a day.
Canada? You literally call yourself a not Canada. Because if you live in Argentina or Glen or corporate,
There's a lot of things we can tell. Well, dude, big time, huh? You like shrimp cocktail? Well, prepare to be happy because there's shrimp cocktail.
wow, this is not at all what I expected.
Yeah, but they call it a conference, so it's really just a balls out party. I mean, one of us is going to end up puking before the night is over. Probably me.
Well, thanks so much for showing us around, Jeff. We're sure you got to go and think it over.
Yes,
Maybe I need
listen,
to
listen.
restore these boolean values.
See you guys by the ice sculpture.
Oh, no, you don't listen to
Hey,
him.
why not?
Hmm.
Don't look at me like that. I know the heavy lift. We can finish up at home. Happy holidays. Bet.
That is your idea of gift wrapping.
Oh, gift wrapping? Why don't we go and get you a gift that she needs, huh? Because now you won't get to waste time, waste paper to keep sending out gifts. Just like
So
Santa Claus is always giving you something. I don't think so.
You don't know how to wrap a gift.
Oh, cereal, huh? It's on drugs. You see the action?
Action.
Yeah, like drunk
let's see.
style
We're going to
laughing,
do
in-crowd explosions. That was good for your hearing.
X value set
Yes.
village, and then we're going to do human city.
I just wanted to lie in bed before the room service and watch pay-per-view.
You still will. Well, sit tight. Your son's 10 rows away from the doors.
He's been staring at me for 20 minutes. He's just up there waiting for someone to talk to him. It's so sad.
He's probably looking for a conversation.
Yeah, well, everyone has a D-bag.
Well, not everybody.
Everyone here
Hmm.
is a room full of D-bags. He's a D-bag. He's a D-bag. She's a triple D-bag. These are the kind of people who come here every year. They eat $500,000 worth of shrimp cocktail, and then they tell us that we can't afford maternity leave.
These are just ordinary, boring people.
D-bags.
Bunch of bunch. Howdy. I'm Colt McCann, County Courthouse from Burlington, Vermont. Weird.
Headquarters, hey, Tien.
Yeah, this is Rousey. Hey, Tien.
Tien wants cover.
Let's see.
So Tien and I were just talking about a $15 minimum wage. How y'all feel about that?
Ask me. Floor workers can barely live $15 a week.
Ghost.
Don't you get me started.
Pay us more. Give us more hours. I'm looking for 56 endless. Yeah. Okay. Good.
We wish that
Ghoul.
silver wasn't as brassy here. You know, just keep us in.
That's exactly what this should be.
Goblin.
I hate them so much.
Me neither. Fucking jokes.
We need to fortify these 2 weak spots in the city.
The whole thing is tables.
Well, just keep it less expensive than a table shortage. Oh, so we all pitch in now. You say I'm everywhere. Really?
Everywhere.
So, you're here, huh? Well, I'm glad to
Okay.
hear this conversation.
So
You know, I'm actually going to
I have to figure out how to get
where the meat's contained.
No, they're all the same.
the tile pulled out of here.
Get tired. Can't get any
I
later.
need to be able to
Everything's a
kind of
success.
compare it.
Any other
So,
compliments?
It's residential area.
Yeah. They they live personally. At least they used to.
You sure?
hmm,
Um, it's a lot of people down there. A lot of the right ones. Let's say 20%.
let's see. Nope.
You must have watched that movie. There's nothing there.
If
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
to instantiate,
Would you like an iPad?
You mean to buy?
No, they're free.
You're just you're just offering me an
equals,
iPad?
Well, not just you, all managers.
Well, I am a manager.
let's
I
see,
am a mom.
um,
That's fine. Take one.
Okay then, I will take this iPad.
Go right ahead.
On the phone now.
Okay.
let's see, go city tile,
Yeah, you can
and
cut
it
it
does
into pieces
that.
right away.
Wait a second. Is everybody in a clean hole just giving away free stuff?
Yes, you know, they're also giving out the free nice home tacos with that frozen delicious.
Yes, yes, me too. Don't worry. I'm just gonna look at one of those famous wine openers real quick.
Katie,
Go city
get everything.
tile, goblin city tile.
Oh yes, this is perfect for Atherton.
I don't want to be there. It's just gotten really overwhelmed by tourists recently.
What's going on here?
Just trying on these $300 coats they're giving away.
He'll take them too.
That's okay, I don't need a woman's coat.
Well, you can take them for your 15-year-old daughters.
Come on.
I'll take one coat, please. By the way, speaking of free things, is it open bar?
Oh, thank you.
No? But
Let's
hey,
see,
try it
just
on.
gonna go ahead and replace all
Oh,
this.
why are we doing this? Two more, please. Apple butter. Fresh. Wait.
Oh, hello. Oh,
There
Wow,
we go.
here's what I would imagine a cloud would taste like.
what do you mean? Wait,
Oh,
I'm hoping that this will work properly.
that's terrifying. I think you just stepped. Oh, that was nice.
oh, yes, thank you. We put mushroom on
Hmm.
the main grilled cheese sandwich, and then they all go
Let's
together
go to
so
the
nice.
debugger
Little
real
extra
quick
mozzarella
and
for
let's
the
go
meat on
ahead
top.
and
Cool snack.
Oh, I'll be right
kind of
back.
set
I just need to
these
grab some
and
leftover
verify
cheese.
that I am actually seeing
Oh, that's a really emergency one.
the values properly change
That's my number
in the
three.
hex value.
Atherton, best friend.
Okay, so as we look at the road, just pull the ribbon through and voila, easy peasy.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, even if you're going for something that's kind of generic.
And
Okay, so
and chicken with ranch.
let's make sure everything's kind of working properly over on Unity.
Let's get this straight. There's always vegan subtoppings.
No, no, okay.
Vegans? Not at all. It's a cultural thing. Lying is a big part of cereal culture.
I never heard that, and I've slept with a ton of cereal foods.
Wait, is that where the phrase
Right.
lying like a Syrian comes from, Mateo?
Huh. Now that you mention it, that makes sense. It does, Cheyenne.
Oh, good. At least it's natural conversation, Cheyenne Mateo.
Saeed never mentioned anything about lying when I interviewed him. Then again, he was a liar. He wouldn't have. But if he wasn't a liar, he wouldn't have
Okay.
You park backwards, you save a
I would
time.
have accidentally put that in
We should get Tracy a legal license. Hey, Tracy,
Yeah.
think it's a great idea that Kieran wants to mow this
You
patch.
know what? I think I just need to go down that hill.
Tracy,
But
can
come
you
on,
just
come on.
hold on, just chill.
Why are you telling people that I'm lying about the TV?
I don't think I am.
What is that? That is not a statement.
I'll be back. What's this, Marcus?
The fat guy.
Tracy, I've known for 25 years you're a bad teacher.
You mean President Henderson didn't personally swear you to?
No, I don't think Henderson stole
Okay.
anything. I was nervous that you weren't coming in when we started animating. I was the one who started worrying about Sarah.
Again, that is not what you were saying. Why don't you go return your email? Stay on my list.
I don't know.
There
I
we
don't
go.
know if you're gonna give me trouble, like not saying anything that's on my compass.
Oh,
Make sure that the
If you're not,
board is still
it isn't Friday.
working the way it needs to work.
whatever happens to innocent bystanders.
Look, take it easy. Tim, don't worry about her. What are they doing in the report?
Yeah.
They're not writing me out.
If I'm
Okay.
suspected,
Now
I
we're
will
gonna go
have
back
to take that
here.
risk.
We're gonna go ahead and start up the debugger.
Thank you. Where are you going?
Sit back. I have work to do.
Where?
I have to go to the mansion first.
Well, don't go.
Okay. Gonna run it.
It became exciting since the day that your
There
grandfather
we
died,
go.
and that you and Woody were sort of leaving.
Now,
Well, that's what happened.
we want to
It's
look
exciting
at
because since
Hey, here.
price value.
I'm gonna go eat, bring you some water.
yeah, I think we'll need to
So
talk
we're
about
looking
that.
at village name
But
here.
so you're down at the
See,
lodge.
can I actually
Oh, well, that's pretty
price
nice.
value
Yeah. Oh,
village name?
oh,
Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can.
oh. Well, that'd be awful relieved to hear that. So he has been your realtor. I don't think you're supposed to lie to people. I'm not kidding.
Aha! There we go.
Okay, well, that's only 5 numbers. We need 4 more.
Ghost.
Score
Right.
is
Continue. And now we're on to the last one.
9.
Done.
Oh, listen, I need a security camera.
Hey,
Okay. Now let's change this up a little bit. We're going to go back to our
Welcome to the
game manager.
Nation.
Change the monster level
Eating.
to 3.
I'm going out of town.
Okay, I'll go with dinner then.
We'll go back to our debugger, run it again.
Can you believe
Oop.
there's little idiots who lead this company?
Not exactly the best and brightest.
And they get paid 10 times as much as us. And they get better
Okay,
benefits.
we're good there.
We are
So
robot
we're going to go ahead
therapists.
and run it.
They don't even have to pay for their
I
own
don't know whether or
therapies.
not, stopping and starting it up again is good procedure or not.
Why not? They have this training center, and they love bragging about how they know
Figure
more than
it's
anyone.
just easier to
Like you said,
be more careful.
And this is my mom.
So,
I just had a second baby. It's not
okay,
like
we
that.
got a ghost.
Every life changed.
And we got a ghoul.
Your business still gets websites
And we're done.
for the Philippines?
Okay.
We're supposed to live gradually.
And now our map isn't as large.
Have a nice
We
evening.
got 2 enemy cities.
Someday,
That's
they're
good.
going to be on to the next part.
Now we're going to do it
Well,
once
I'll be
more.
reporting. They're planning a vacation.
Just have the debugger here.
But the hotels are super expensive, right?
Got the
So,
game manager, and we're going to change the monster level to 0.
we can talk. Sure.
Go back to the debugger. Run it again.
bring me your social security number.
I know.
To get checked
And
out.
then we'll run that.
Still.
Yeah.
So,
done. Okay. Now, I need to give the player a little bit of time to um, to set up some amount of defenses. Okay. Or for them to kind of explore the map a little bit, because the enemy tile is going to be, you know, switching around, and this is pretty much a direct path to the human city. So if I were to spawn them at the same time, for example, then so let's say, you know, we have the worker spawn here, monster spawn there, right? So we're talking um, monster walks, worker harvest, walk, harvest, walk, harvest, walk, harvest. Let's say, you know, you need 30 to get a barrier. Now we're going to try to build it, you know. So let's build it there, you know, walk, build, walk, destroy kind of aspects. You see what I'm saying? It's I'm gonna need to kind of work on the balance a little bit on this to make sure that the player has some fighting chance at the very least. That they can at least get a single barrier up before being attacked. So that's going to require some amount of balancing issue and the like. Hey there, Mono Twitch. Welcome back to the stream. I appreciate you coming on by. So the we're going to need to make sure that we get the. I mean, this is about as close as it comes to, you know, a direct line. Okay, and with the monsters being able to, I'm going to be putting in some amount of randomization, but once a monster sees a human, it's going to go straight at them. Okay, so a monster might like kind of run back and forth a little bit, but once they see a human, it's gonna be a problem. So this is probably one of the worst maps for them. The humans would need to kind of. I think I'm gonna need to probably put a spawn flag. Like, I want humans to spawn like right here. Now, can can zombies damage the human city if it's unprotected? I mean, probably. I mean, if there's no barrier protecting the human city, then that means a zombie can just kind of walk into the city and probably walk out with a human. So that's going to be some balancing issues as well that I'm going to need to kind of work on, or you know, ghoul, ghost, or goblins. You know, you get what I'm saying. I'm going to need to work on the balance a little bit. You know, because short of, you know, this being a path instead of this, you know, this is pretty much like the quickest path. So So,
Or is this divinity? But the word divinity is written upside down.
but everything's kind of looking, it's looking good here. You know, the fact that this actually changes between the different tiles, which is good. Gives me a
It's ancient
gives me a
astrology.
chance to switch between them properly.
And you obviously don't have
Um,
tomato. Tomato. You know what?
so
A little while ago, I was thinking about transitions, like without sounding super casual.
Oh my god. Okay, so the guy who had at the distribution center, his name is Ron.
hmm,
Yeah, and here's your free tickets. I thought maybe I'll send you a copy.
You need to know that he gets his house very nice with a big tub.
Amy, managing a store is about relationships. Business is personal.
and the
All right,
fact that it actually switches between these properly, like it doesn't repeat these over and over again,
I'm
which
sorry.
is good.
Would you mind putting them in the
Um,
destination letter? Which, by the way, they said the sooner the
now
better,
let's
but it's
see.
not for sure.
Yeah, I'm not feeling any. Oh, Jay. So Ron is 47 years old. He's in a handball league. He had a deaf girlfriend till he was 16, and he's thinking about a vasectomy, but isn't sure.
Let me go
Yeah.
ahead
Hey, Ron.
and
Thanks, sir. Buy me over some more paper towels. Okay, no problem. Bye now.
check out Inmaze here.
And that is how that is done.
So just yeah, see behind the curtain.
Ooh, yeah. All right, next up is Fern Rosado. Now she's married to a woman, so watch how casually I bring up female warrior Fern.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and stop the debugger. That's already stopped already. So now we're going to go ahead and play. It's still set on
Lives in the sewer.
the beginning level,
Talking to
so
my interim manager, I'm not sure a double screen should have been part of what we logged in.
Sounds like you're learning a lot.
Oh yeah, earlier today I had to order ice
okay,
latte for
so
myself.
this has been set already. Um,
And it will be.
so we're going to go ahead and add
So exciting.
inmaze in here,
Stupid mistakes I made as a high school student. If I'm unhappy with my life, then, it's up to me to change that.
For me, I think it started.
and we're going
Getting started
to
growing up to love their kids.
Oh,
add
oh,
these in here. Non-public member,
Okay, next question. In your career, would you
next
rather
tile,
hands or
non-public
pens?
members,
Yes, and I know not to use my hands. I mean,
Goal
I use
City.
pens.
I think you're getting bogged down with just answer off the top of your head.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. I mean, work with your hands could be totally
Human City.
erotic, which could lead
Nice.
to prostitution. I mean, would I want to be a prostitute? Again, depends. Who are my clients?
Try a different
Right.
section. Okay. Rank the
Okay.
following four qualities from most to least
Now
important.
let's go ahead and
Intellectual ability,
change the levels
relationships,
around
skill,
here.
max salary.
Original.
Game Manager. Let's switch this back to 3.
That's okay.
All right. Okay. What about this one? Does this make you feel
Oh
scared?
wait, I don't have the debugger running.
I'll say guilt.
Scared?
Debugger.
How about this? Scared,
Run.
isn't it fun?
Yes.
Now we
Absolutely.
can do
It's really
this.
good.
There we
A
go.
lot like, oh,
And
now,
there's the
when you
trigger.
want the scared, oh, offensive. What is
Okay,
it?
so we already have the Human City in here. Yeah,
Totally.
let's just go with this
Okay,
one.
maybe we should try a couple things, okay?
Yeah,
For now.
Human City already in there.
What if instead of bold, we did extreme?
So we're going to do
Okay,
that.
that, and I love extreme.
And that
Extreme
should
always is
now
good.
have
I love changing business editions.
Goal
Okay,
City.
I
That's
have a
good.
seven rule violations somewhere in this section. And go.
That trash can's overflowing. That
Now we
toilet is
should
clogged.
have the
And
Ghost
the
City in
car
here.
is in auto soda that doesn't belong in women's wear and
Yeah,
it's leaking. These sweaters aren't really folded, they're just sort of waterproof.
doing pretty good
Policy
so
says
far.
that, but should be wearing a shirt.
And we're all done there. Okay, so we can stop
Read
that.
my notes. Okay, so
Stop
this
this.
next part is all backwards, and on roller
Change
skates.
the game manager again.
I've got backwards and on roller skates.
Simon, this really isn't necessary. I mean, I
Get
love all the
the
movie stuff, but
debugger
then
running.
let a girl learn an actual dance.
So,
And now we're going to do that.
you want
Now we should be seeing all of them pop
I
in.
mean, I want to say exactly,
So
but I'm trying not to hurt your feelings.
Sorry I wasted your time.
Right, for future reference, if a manager asks you to take off your clothes, you can say no.
Okay, what about professional flavor tester?
Pass. I want my sister a chef.
Maritime law?
Legislative
interesting.
enforcement.
Enforcement.
Pass.
Legislative?
Also pass.
Why didn't you send it to New York?
I'm trying to be open.
Maybe you could read white passenger.
Like just Gordon Levitt Premium Rush? I think I'll pass when he chased her out by a golf
Oh,
club
it,
and
it
throws her
found
$157 for Chinese super size.
the enemy city first before it got to the human city.
I
Don't think I see that
See,
connector.
um, this should be the human city.
reference.
Amy,
Yeah, there it is.
hey, are you going to be putting pictures of
So
bagels?
now,
Aren't all horses naked?
Not this one.
okay.
But just don't get all out there.
No, Marcus, no. I
So we
promise
got
I'll keep
Gold
it totally
City
off.
Okay. I'll send you some
and Goblin
photos of the
City.
purchase order. Just shut up.
No, babe, we'd at least check something 7 times.
Okay,
That's
and
not
now
right. Obviously, it was a typo. I meant
once
to write
more.
120. And
Goblin
who needs
City,
12,000 boxes of
Gold
fireworks? We
City,
have room for them. Now, sir, can you not bring this in?
and now we have
You can't hold us to this deal. No,
Ghost
okay,
City.
sir. You may not bring this in here.
And we continue, and that should be the end of it,
Are not.
which is this. Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
No, no,
so we're
Charlie.
doing pretty good. Doing pretty good here.
This is way too easy.
Okay, so now that we have that,
As quickly as possible. Now. And then get a little closer.
I thought you were planning
now
on
we can
starting
go
with
down
a
to the
robot.
spawn area, and we can properly set
Still awkward? No. And just
an
like
initial
previous
spawn
schools,
point.
the
Well, we
employee has
can,
3 minutes before he sees them.
Which is cool. And based on my experience with ice, these things are going to melt.
we're
It's
going to
true.
be
I'm
doing
not saying for
a
you, but just
search
hypothetically.
for
Or if it's
tiles
inside, all of these boxes somewhere outside.
concerning
Now,
neighbors.
I'm pretty good at hiding things. In fact,
So
I heard here during high school, my mom had no idea. I hid her my stuffed animals and ET.
Why? That's what I said.
let's
That's
see.
crazy.
Rational emotion. I'm gonna go cry and understand why. Look, not happening. Oh, you're a dummy. Okay. I won't look away after blood on your face.
You know what? Say anything. I know it's fine.
Okay, come on.
Thank you.
We have the plan. We have the plan.
Yeah, Marcus is just gonna hide these boxes somewhere. Okay, he'll try anarchy
So
and recklessness,
now,
and we'll think no problem. This is okay for Taylor Ford to pilot.
Yeah. This will be good. Fun?
okay, so let's see.
Taylor and I are setting this up.
Shit, Taylor.
Oh, that's really great. Look, and since you're a businessman, you both owe me a brouhaha.
Security for the next couple hours, and we learn from each other.
Really, you want my help?
Oh, yes, please.
Absolutely.
Okay then.
Hmm.
Ugh. Thought I was starting to find Coast Guard interesting, but you're just enjoying the style of listeners Taylor had.
Look, I think we've been through every job, and there's nothing.
There's gotta be something.
Do you think space mailmen will ever be a thing?
You can't expect to figure out your entire future in a day. I spent 200 grand on higher education. I sort of figured it out.
200 grand? Your parents let you finish.
Nope, all student loans.
Okay, so here's where the
You mean
problem is right at
college
the moment.
loans more than anything?
So we have
Yeah,
That means
sure.
every single day, even after you work a full day, you are more in debt than you were
we have
making.
multiple
Uh-huh.
tiles to
I thought
set
I was in trouble, but
for the
you're
spawn
responsible for
points.
Diane and your two hubbies now?
Um,
Pretty weird to me, huh?
It's weird.
we're looking at another possible
Well,
for
thanks,
loop
Al.
here.
It's kind of Chris Fahrenheit outside,
I
so
didn't
what
really
do you
want to do
want?
that, but
Pizza, ice pop.
I don't really have
That's most of the
that
stuff you buy here. We'll get you
that
something
much of a
affordable
choice in the
too.
menu.
Sir, would you like to try
Okay, so here's where I'm not.
And you scream and scream and scream your head off until he says yes. Just a little.
Here's where I'm
They said it
a
couldn't be.
little concerned
They
about
said it
this.
had 12-ounce ice pops and
Um,
some beer. Fine freak, right?
I don't necessarily want to
Also,
have
this was never
going
really
through
part of the
another.
plan. It was such a
Um,
massive waste of time. And circle around meaningless. So it's like, whoa, it's kind of good.
I didn't need that to pop up.
Oh,
Um,
what is it? Just wanted
Stupid
to
fast.
take you to lunch to discuss
Wrong timing.
next element. That sounds great. Let's all go.
um,
Oh, it's about learning.
Yes, we needed each other one night.
The best negotiations always happen over a meal. Write that down. Come on.
But we want to learn about their filing system. Glenn? Glenn?
Yes, let's be in your office. I love
I'll
that
need to look and try to fix that later.
Can't wait. I can't wait to put
I
this
don't need
stuff
it
on my
popping up in the middle of the stream.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see.
Oh,
So I can go back through the entire list of inmates and check to see, um,
Glenn? Glenn?
um, find the human tile, the ghost tile, and find all of its neighbors around it, blah, blah, blah.
How nice. Our puppy was well done.
But,
Very well.
um, but the, that's going to be another loop, another for loop. Now, again, the amount of looping that I'm doing here is really not that bad because the amount of tiles that I'm dealing with is minuscule in reality. Okay, I'm only dealing with like 100 or so. Okay, so for loop isn't the end all of it. Okay, but I need to get into the mentality that I shouldn't, you know, one of the worst flaws that a programmer could have is doing something like, hey, I'm gonna do a while loop, and I'm gonna do a while loop.
Maybe you could just
I'm gonna do a while loop,
and then in future purchases,
then another while loop. It's like, and they just keep on spawning, and spamming this over and over and over again, to the point where it just, this is terrible, kind of aspect. You really don't want to have anything like this. Nested loops are one of the worst things that you could have. So you got to be careful when you're doing things like this because you're essentially potentially causing additional problems down the road on that.
sorry about the typo. I didn't
Um,
know it would get so dark.
I feel like everyone works Monday to Friday. Take Thursdays to
so
myself.
I'm trying my hardest not to make a ton of for loops. Okay, try to get this data resolved using the information that I'm already collecting.
The next day we all talk.
So,
Maybe we should do some research to drop a pin. We're not actually going to start a business, right? We're not.
okay, so first thing I want to do,
Because I think it's about Friday
um,
or after
if
It's like when people talk about starting a band.
if that, is equal to null,
And then we're not actually gonna do this.
Okay, yeah.
then I need to
Yeah, sure.
What's your name, baby?
You know, I always thought your name first name would be a hard time to
set
pronounce.
the human tile. So,
Hey, little buddy, do you want to have a bite?
um,
Fine. I can bear this all by myself later. What is it?
My recognition. New program.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm.
just so there isn't any kind of
This GGG turns it on.
confusion or anything along those lines.
New
So,
program.
um,
Input time. I can give $100
so we're
reward
going to do
for
this
using
multiple
GGG
times
credits.
for the four
$99
other.
I dropped the mini muggies from the schedule, and I had to work the whole day alone in the store. And one time I ate everybody's lunch by accident. And I accidentally ordered some adult toys because I thought they were ugly.
Okay, so now set goal, set ghost, and set goblin. Okay.
Why don't we go around the room and everyone tell us your name and what grade you're in.
Okay, so we're going to pull this out, put this up here, so we don't need to
Honey, Sissa,
do this multiple times.
what grade are you?
It doesn't matter.
Well, then I'll just roll with Vegas,
There.
figure out how I get there. Put the recipe stamp so I can flip it a year ago.
Okay, now,
Okay, all right. Well, so I have been at Cloud9 for 16 years, and I have always heard of the management training program. And I finally thought to myself, forget that blue vest. You better get that Cloud9, girl. So I'm your agent.
I think
I'm Diane. I work with Amy. She suggested I use the program
now
as
should,
as long as she'd give me a ride. I can't drive right now because I didn't leave you my car. What do you think?
lady, this is the involving conference.
Yeah, no, but
pop neighbor is X tile key. It's not an actual
This is the Cloud9
tile, so I can't do the comparison like I did above up here.
Oh, sorry. But you still have to wear spandex and it's my trial. It's okay. Why don't you just take pictures?
I can't do something like this.
send them my jacket.
Hmm.
Then I'll have enough money to get there too. And the eyewear.
But if I do something similar to this,
I don't understand what it is so hard to
I
understand.
might be able to kind of work this a little
What
bit.
she was doing was.
Really? No wonder we have so few refugees.
I don't understand how you could apply for asylum.
It's not easy. List your extended family and I'm Filipino, they'll take you as the
Says you need to show that if you were sent back, you might be persecuted based on your race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group.
I wasn't in a political group, I was in school. I mean, we weren't persecuted, but people were really joking.
I think they mean more like you thought you might be arrested if you were a
Hmm.
communist or started taking pictures.
I mean, the legal checks are done before you go on holiday.
See, oh, nothing. I was getting a medical test on heels.
Hey, Rose. If I met everyone. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Yeah, do we have to wait till she's done speech or can we just keep going?
It's Jerusha's day to clean our pastor's study, so I will turn her in. Now, can you hold it for a bit while I set up
Let's
everything in
see.
my office?
Yeah, I'm at 80% with future reference. I'm also in a little soft close in with the program calculus.
To some random
I can use the Git village
Yeah, that's like
to see if the
sure.
name has already been set.
Like sure, but does that make it meaningful? You only realize it's not.
Fine. Uncle Garrett, what do you
But
recommend?
the
It's really not something faces that way. But you're a natural. Daddy loves you, Rose.
the spawn locations are using tiles, not the
You love that.
It seems like a good spread, but it was a better spread last year.
hex tiles.
So, if you were here last year, why are you taking the class again?
Because I didn't pass the first time. Thanks for making me say it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be. Excuse me. Hi, quick question. Is this the class that people fail a lot in?
I fault regularly, but
And I'm not storing the tile inside the hex
I thought this was
tile.
sort of like a introductory seminar.
don't mind. Just a short break. Training progress.
What are you eating? Oh, sorry. Dang sugar. I'm just gonna. It's just I was a little bit confused because I was doing everything and to kind of find out all of a sudden that I could potentially fail out on the first day.
No,
So
as soon as you register, so I'm gonna head this way.
yeah, no, you should. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure this interrupting thing isn't gonna affect the pass rate.
Just call it.
Let's see.
So, just hold it there, and I have the best news then. I should take out the territory.
And you got that from
So
Yes, I qualified for asylum first day. Check out that Facebook page.
Duterte. Reading the Duterte doesn't respect human rights, but that's none of my business. Over a picture of Kermit the Frog spilling tea.
Also not honest.
I don't know if there's frequency reduction for memes qualifies you as a joke.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. Actually being the leader of an
let's
actual
go
country
ahead
that
and
actually opposes Duterte.
Okay, fine. Marcus, spotting group, you in? Definitely.
so if
Revolution begins.
Now, in the warehouse, the non-com is doing full pallet picking. Shopping for the shipment containers.
Market labels, etc.
Amy, could you float this up, please?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was just I'm sorry.
let's see.
Anyway, it's cold in the warehouse. Don't let it wear you out.
So pop
No,
neighbor.
I'm laughing because I was listening to you.
It's not my joke. It's part of the lesson plan.
You delivered it. I mean,
So the next thing I
Let's
was going to
see.
say was better or else I'm going to go on a break for
Hmm.
really be honest with it every day until all your teams.
Of course, Twitch would have a problem.
Her answer would be to find someone else to take over.
Damn it! Stop that.
Thank you for sharing. That was horrifying. All right, so now you guys are going to design a program to improve customer satisfaction. Now go and pick a partner and choose wisely. The wrong partner could literally ruin your life.
Oh, want to put it together?
well,
Okay.
Gary, probably not a great idea to start with
So
a hallway.
No, no.
Oh, well, Gary doesn't care, so yeah.
All better. All the way I can get stuff done.
I'm sorry.
let's see. We want to do.
Wait a second. IAQS. No, wait, super savings. People want to put something that means convenience. Right, right. Okay. Operation people rallying against it.
Are you just working backwards from GoPro?
Almost. That's exactly what I was doing. I like it. You get something, you get something. Especially that stuff.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay, we want to do pop wall. or no, wait. We want to do the.
Really? This is how you care for a baby? You just throw it in a cart like a sack of margarine.
Sack of margarine.
Fine, bag of butter.
Look, she's perfectly safe in there. You want to take care of her?
See. We want to set the specific
No.
tile.
Nothing like you treat a baby this way. Not
So.
this baby. Now you're focused, Max.
So Ghost. Oh, wait.
Okay. Wait, you checkers. Check.
Ghost city tile.
Move around your cart.
We want to
What if you tried something like
set
you give customers to deliver their workplace?
Ghost
Well,
spawn.
we have like an automatic zone, and sometimes we give people like $100. Some other times it's like worth a week, and it's like modern experience.
City tile.
I like that. Very nice. Building one. What if you had
Set
customers reverse order their
pool spawn.
That sounds a little boring.
And then we have goblin city tile.
More you want? Here. Even
Set
architects could do your ideas.
goblin spawn.
Okay, guys. Thumbs up. Okay, what if every Tuesday is Mardi Gras Day? And we'll let you
And we're
pick
going to do this one more time.
Mardi Gras Tuesdays. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
If,
And also, one of you can join those ideas.
Let me think about this problem. It's very
oh
simple,
wait.
and probably makes what a lot of deliveries
There's still some work that needs to be done here, so
I mean, if it's your product,
so this is just temporary here, folks. So don't think
but I do a lot of advertising.
I'm
Whose house is that baby?
this is set in stone right at the moment.
Not the service.
See? That's what it looks like when you don't care about a baby.
Okay. Um,
Hello?
Oh, hey, Shannon! Oh,
okay,
hey,
so
it's
doing a lot of saving of data right at the moment. I need to figure this out here a little bit because this is getting to the point where
What are you doing with JJ?
um,
Good place? You got that new
I'm
TV?
doing a lot of
What's going on
mismatching
with
and the
JJ?
like, and now we're at a point where there's really no impasse. Um, let me try to put into words what the problem is. Okay, so right now we're only using hex tile and hex tile key. Okay, and we're putting those into the dictionaries to fill out the um, the inmaze, which is again another dictionary full of hex tiles and hex tile keys.
Good. Little mixes like this that there is some
But the
terrible, but toast.
the hex tiles
Your coffee.
do not actually have the actual tiles in place. It doesn't store the tiles.
Actually,
So
follow-up calls have been held.
Thank you, Abe.
Enough with that.
what I want to
Absolute no
do
comments. Awful. Arguably
is be able to
terrible.
get set tiles out so that I can put it inside,
I think you were trying to help me.
or put, the
What did you mean by violence?
I'm looking at, hey, this popped wall
And I mean,
needs to be
you know, one of those really
set as a spawn point.
It's one of those situations where the explanation doesn't make the metagame better.
So next we're going to do a role play. Andy, why don't you be the manager and you're going to talk to Cheyenne about her repeated absences. Good job.
Oh, actually, I need to put this down inside here.
Hey, Cheyenne, you've been missing quite a bit of work lately.
I'm sorry, can we time out? Because I'm starting to feel attacked right now.
How was I attacking you?
Well, it wasn't so much the words, but the way that she's looking at me right now makes it seem like she is really angry.
No, I wasn't.
You made a promise. Gotta accept it and correct it.
Okay. Hey, sweetie. I'll go
Oh,
ahead and
but
start
no,
calling you
this doesn't really work either because
Good.
Oh wait, no, this isn't a daycare.
Our mailman's not back.
I'm not I'm not checking the neighbors around
Yes,
this.
correct.
Thank you all for coming to the inaugural meeting of the St. Louis Society Against Dejection. Pass the massage. Huh? So, what kind of stuff are you doing? Well, that is a good question.
Jonah, you gonna handle this one?
Okay. Let me try to put down what I'm facing here at the moment. Just open up Notepad real
I
quick.
misplaced an order of compost mix for large. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
um,
I just wanted to add Russian dressing to that, and
so we have.
I gotta. I don't know if it comes with a
Let's take an example.
or a sweetener.
We need to set
Yeah, I just wanted to add that.
a human
Thanks a lot.
spawn point, right? Okay, so where are we going to go ahead and do that? Okay, so right now,
Start with a letter
looking at this, okay,
Michelle,
um,
does anyone know what's
we
coming
get
next?
a pop neighbor.
Family. I couldn't be any closer, man.
Paris, you should watch my son.
What do you march on?
A whole bunch of stuff. I mean, just gonna say watch my son.
Check,
Have him do a march, just like David loves it. Oh, come on.
check neighbor for within maze. Check to see if it's already there.
Pretend this echo zone is someone else's body, okay? Leo, I don't care if your father's a police officer. This is my jurisdiction.
In what now?
That's not a word. Screw everyone.
Take it
You
easy,
know,
Gigi. You ready to get moving?
This is big boy. You just show unrest and bet the cops will sound the alarm for middle of the town. Keep that rainy Sabbath prices.
6 times or less.
Too early to go?
Here,
Okay.
here, look here.
Oh,
Do
no, I
this.
don't need to save it.
Right. Hey, listen to me.
Okay, so
Don't move, okay? You're a baby.
the
You're embarrassing the
muscle
boys.
memory there is saving everything.
Fine.
So
So when you see us as a dog, it really traumatized the Jeffersons.
I will try not to do that
eh,
again. Shut
if
your asses.
more than
Get work
one neighbor
Okay, just go. And always
is
use
within
vocabulary before we speak,
maze,
okay? And I'm not the only one.
skip.
Sheila told me that you're always making her giving back rubs. Right, Sheila?
Otherwise,
Yeah?
Sheila!
She didn't say anything to
merge
me. Then she put fingers in my mouth.
Look, it's
popped
It's not fair because you want her everyone to agree with
all
Sheila. You put a bomb in her
with
room. And Karen, you stole $40 million from the cash register. And
maze
you did it
set
because you closed the cash.
or
And now Karen's
create
gonna die. Ooh,
new set.
you're fired.
Okay,
Okay, sir. You may proceed.
so
Do you have a supply in case anything happens up there?
um,
So, wouldn't that just be starting a baked goods company?
so we don't even know whether or not
Hammer. Maybe a
this
vampire or something. I'm
the
sorry.
wall
Have I been in the store? No.
is going to be even inside the maze to begin with.
We don't pay a big attention to that.
So
For the big
we need
things,
to be able to put that step down here, you know, right after we know that the popped wall is part of the set, right?
Well, you guys got the
Well,
muse to show up. Doesn't that make you nervous?
not really. I see
how
everything
will
else
we
has
know
Dorothy, I'd probably get King to say,
whether or
don't
not we
worry about the
found
government.
the human spawn
If it
point?
doesn't work, you can use it for
Okay, because
investigate for
the
terrorism. Anyway, I'm gonna try
um,
to go to my boat. I did
the
come
popped
to America
walls
even though
will never be the cities themselves. Okay, the neighbors are going to be knowing what cities are what. So how will I know that this popped neighbor is it a human city? I don't really know. God damn it! I keep on seeing this up here, and I want to save it. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. So, um,
You did it. You're still in the hangar. Don't forget on your way out, you should pick up a diploma.
but that's the same for all the rest of them. I mean, I'm doing 4 checks per pop neighbor to see whether or not um, it's any of the tiles. But at the same time, I can't do pop neighbor is not
Hey, ladies! The guys from
a
Cleveland
tile.
want some anti-gunpowder drinks. They said they'd show up at this time.
Is a X tile.
I'll be darned. What's gonna do a dead body parts recyclable? The Philippines may be 8,000 miles away, but that isn't stopping its protest against a controversial president. They say it's
So,
one act of being aroused. Matteo, tell us why you oppose Duterte.
Um,
um,
opposed is kind of a strong word. I wouldn't say that we oppose him. Right, right. Yeah, we're just spreading awareness
so I need to figure out some way of
without judgment.
So the group you
um,
started, St. Louis to Fight Against Duterte, is not actually against Duterte.
It's a big catch. You know, when there's a pro, there's a
see,
big
it's
catch.
it's not even a hex
So
tile; it's a hex tile key
this could
for
be
the pop neighbor.
a big protest. What are you guys talking about? The guy's a monster.
So
No,
it's the
he's just
furthest
more of it. Yeah, he's edgy. Hey,
from being a
if you
tile.
walk out to Duterte, you're a dead man. Hey, when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And this guy right here, he's a coming for you. Matteo Lumana.
So
Remember that name. Matteo Lumana.
it's
Matteo.
super loud downstairs. I'm sorry, folks. Um,
You like a baby. You like a baby.
They like me.
Hey guys! So sorry I'm late. I got stuck. I can take a roast back. Come on. Come on.
so say we come on down here kind of aspect. Well, we don't know
You mean this is
whether or not the popped wall is next to, you know, one of the tiles. Because once again, you know, popped neighbor is not the same as a regular tile in this case. So I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing this. What am I missing here? What can I do to kind of cut through all this? Um,
But now let me tap along with the boat. There's superbugs attraction.
Awesome.
hmm.
Better than Apple Watch yet. Thank you.
I've actually been meaning to get a bounder for my morning runs.
Isn't taking a mini walk down the street to get a vacuum irresistible?
It's just a quarter mile.
These are yours to keep for a week. You have to keep them on 24/7. They are not waterproof, and you can't get them too hot or too cold.
So I don't know if I can really do
Don't worry, there's a no trip show.
I'm not worried.
um,
Well, maybe this will change your
this is where things get a little tricky here, because now I'm getting into that area where I'm trying to keep. I was thinking that I need to kind of keep the tiles separate from hex tiles a little bit, so that I can I wouldn't have too much overlap with data, but um, trying to get the
Was the one that Shaq played at?
I think that's where aesthetic motivation
them
comes
to kind of match up with each other. That's where things are kind of
But I can't go walking in the den.
being more problematic nowadays, right now.
Celebrated it. That's called eating grass.
Oh, she's so great. Walking around on her legs, left foot, right foot. We get it, Colleen.
What's up with you and Colleen?
What's up with you and Colleen?
Nothing.
Too bad we don't stand a chance at winning. I mean, what is it?
Hmm.
Tennis? Probably a good one. You should try.
You should come live at lunch.
Yeah, maybe we do.
Well, screw it. Let's motivate these people and go for gold.
Yeah. But it was a get to step in kind of score. Remember our last fire drill had to be about getting the ball?
How do I go about doing this?
Underdogs don't always have to treat underdogs
What
like
am I
losers.
missing? What do I need?
I think this is something he really wants to do. Like for every league, there are 10,000 short guys who just never make the team.
Just saying, we want that lunch to be a team.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
Oh, look at this. Colleen 14 points, President
It's not
Tennis.
even next
Let's
tile,
go.
it's next tile key.
Tennis is prestigious.
Okay, so
It's a real monster, huh?
Yeah.
so
Go ahead and
there's a
introduce
problem
yourself,
there.
Sandra.
Kill them both.
Um, so I can't even do any kind of proper comparisons here. So, hey there, Corpse. How you doing there, bud? It's really late for you there, bud. Staying up a little late, aren't we?
Okay, I don't know what this is, but this is hazmat. So no, I will not be sweating today.
No, no, sir, not you. I was talking to my coworker. Please keep your clothes on.
And getting 10,000 steps a day
Okay, so
increases
2
your
o'clock in
stress,
the morning.
it
Okay.
lowers your blood pressure, and
Okay,
increases your
I've
metabolism.
stayed up that late myself, so yeah.
Great, you're under 30.
I'm doing. I mean, it's slow going, seeing that I only do
Come on,
like a
let's
day or
go.
two, but
Okay.
um,
Why can't you one of those inspirational guys in a wheelchair?
so I can kind of show you,
What do you think?
but hold on a second. Let me kind of
Right. I mean,
comment
what's so
out
hard to get
these
10,000 taking baby steps? Seriously, stop.
some
I know
problems here real
it's
quick.
a safety issue.
Okay, I think that should do.
Fine. I'll just count my steps to make up for it.
Let's see, are we going to be good there?
Almost.
When I need help, oh, son, bud.
So
Just a little
show you
something.
that, hey, we're making a little bit of progress here. So
Cool, huh? Like a
so
motorcycle.
here's the map as it stands. We got ourselves a little maze going on. You see these little tiles, or these resources as I call them here. Um, you can ignore this. I'm dealing with a lot of uh, spawn point fixes right at the moment, but so we actually have a maze going,
Well, glad my prize.
um, which is good. We're progressing a little bit. The problem that I'm having right at the moment
Stop eating some random store locations on a street.
is that um,
What do you think?
the enemy cities here
Okay,
in the corners. Here,
That's worth a lot of effort, look.
let me switch this over to something with a smaller size so we can kind of see
18 floors,
everything all at once here.
Perfect.
Um,
oh, if they started trash talking us first.
Okay, what wars are you not fighting?
So there it is. Okay. So one of the problems that I'm having right now is that the area surrounding the cities, you know, they might have resources next to them, so I can't necessarily spawn a particular agent next to the city. So like if I had like a tree right there, for example, okay, there would be no spawn points next to a city, so there would be nothing spawning out of it. So far, I haven't had any problems with the human city, but with the enemy city, I've been having some problems. So now I'm trying to figure out what the best method of solidifying the spawn point for these locations so that they will always spawn here without any kind of without anything kind of blocking it. So well, the one of the problems with my maze is that if let me switch it back to the largest one here at the moment, and I'll show you why they're, you know, why it is the way it is right at the moment. Try to go to a particular example. So no blockage there, no blockage there, no blockage there. Well, okay. That's not going to work. Let me try this again so that we actually have something that has something that's being blocked here. Nothing there. Nothing there. Both spawn points are fine there. um, or both spots are available. No, that's fine. Well, okay, neither way. Either way. So let's say all three of these tiles right here are part of the maze. Okay. So right now, the way Krishkal's algorithm works is that if it goes to this one particular tile, it looks at the neighbors around it. Okay. It'll see, you know, outer wall, city, not part of a maze, and then it'll look at these two and it'll go, oh, hey, these are part of the maze. Oh, but it's already, both of them are already part of the maze. So because these two are already part of the maze, it's going to flag it and say, hey, I need you to remain a wall. So, so this doesn't remove its resource. So then this this particular resource gets, you know, shown. The surrounding neighbors gets checked out. You know, outer wall, city, resource, maze, maze, and once again it's gone. Hey, this is part of a maze. I need to remain a wall, and bam, there is no spawn point for my city, or you know, for this tile that has to be a city. So now I have to basically force one of these two tiles to be a spawn point, removing the resource that's already there. now I have to figure out how to actually go about doing that. So um, the way I have it set right now with the Kushko's algorithm, it's the checks are a little bit more problematic. So could you tell me a bit about the teams and or their lore? Okay, so so the concept of the game is um, there isn't really too much of a backstory or main storyline to this, so it's going to be fairly simple on it. But let me so the total concept of GGG, okay, is that you have uh, well, have you watched like Attack on Titan anime, for example? Um, you know, if you've seen Attack on Titan, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of describe this. If you haven't, then okay, you've heard of it. Okay, um, so the anime Attack on Titan. Okay, basically you have the nation of humans. Okay, and they've basically surrounded themselves with a wall. Okay, to kind of protect themselves. Okay, and outside of that wall, you have titans that are just hungry for humans. Okay, they grab a hold of a human, they eat him. Okay, um, that's like Attack on Titan. So this is a similar concept, I guess you might say, but instead of titans, I have three different enemies outside in the wilderness. Okay, I have ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. Okay, that's why I call the game GGG. Um, so as you progress through the level, which hold on a second, let me bring the um, there we go. As you progress through the multiple different levels, the difficulty increases. Now, um, starting out at the base level, you go through, um, first level will be the ghouls, and you're just gonna kind of get a tutorial for how to handle the ghouls. Then I'm gonna make them a little bit harder, little um, not have the randomization kind of process going on. Then I'm going to be including um, uh, ghouls that will actually set traps for humans. Um, and then I'm going to allow for the humans to actually attack back, you know, all the while increasing the size of the map and the number of requirements and ghouls and humans that can spawn. Okay. Then switch over to ghosts, same kind of concept. Goblins, same kind of concept. Then I'm gonna start combining the two. You know, start adding ghouls and ghosts, then ghosts and goblins, and then ghouls and goblins. And then at the very end of it all, I'm gonna have all three of them um, available. So now this right here, this flood concept, um, I figured I put that as kind of like a challenge level. Like it's not it's not required. The player doesn't have to play it if they don't want to. It's more along the lines of how long can you survive against ghouls that will just keep on spawning. They'll just one after another, after another, after another. They'll just keep on coming at you no matter what, and you need to survive as long as you can. That's the concept for this. Same kind of same thing with all of these. Okay, I'm not thinking of this as something that's a requirement in the game, just something extra that the player can have if they want to. Ghosts, and goblins. Your choice brings a smile to my face, probably because I'm a fan of the Super Ghosts. He goes, yeah. I don't want to have. It's going to be a different. With Super Ghouls and Ghosts, it's a platformer. With this, it's more of a strategy, top-down kind of concept. So different styles of games, but um, uh, when my friend who kind of gave the concept of this to me, um, the board game concept was slightly different, obviously. Um, so in that, uh, if I remember correctly, for the board game, um, it was more. It's been a while since he talked about it, but it was more along the lines of you had different factions on the board, and you were trying to um, um, attack the different factions, kind of thing. It was I, I think if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a risk kind of an aspect, but it was like a four-pronged kind of map, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've talked to him about it, but um, yeah, I know. But the choices of enemies and the name of the other faction makes me smile. That's good. That's good. So so when I was kind of in the initial stages of this, I wanted to kind of make it stand out a little bit as to what kind of enemies the humans would be facing. And I was like going, okay, zombies. Well, there's nothing there's nothing else out there that has a similar name to zombies kind of aspect. So that's why the concept of ghouls, ghosts, and goblins kind of came up. It would be the player will be eventually facing off against three different enemies. So um, I wanted to make sure that I had something kind of catchy. So um, first time I heard of ghouls was in Diablo 1. Second game I heard was a game called Warlords 3 Dark Lords Rising. So many people don't know how ghouls and zombies differ. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's it. I'm not going to be hitting upon those particular um, monster concepts completely. I'm still need to figure out how they're gonna kind of be unique in their own separate way. Um, I was thinking that ghosts would be able to kind of fly through the walls of the map. Um, like let's kind of bring up that big map again. Um, I was kind of thinking that, hey, when ghosts are kind of, they can walk down the path, but say like they want to get right here and they want to go to this tile there, they can just kind of go through the resource to make it down there. That makes that makes it a little bit harder for the humans to protect themselves against them. But I don't know how balanced that's gonna be in the game. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant on giving the ghost that kind of ability. Um, so and I don't know how the ghouls and the goblins are going to be kind of separate from each other either. So I still need to kind of figure that out, and whether or not, if I actually want to implement that, and that's going to be really, it's going to be a balancing issue to make sure that the monsters themselves are not too overpowered that the player themselves gets overwhelmed too fast. So, well, that's what testing is for. I'm sure you'll manage that as well as time comes. Yeah, that's way down the road. Obviously, I still need to figure out getting the you know in in AI speak, it's agents. The human agents, the ghoul agents, ghost agents, goblin agents. I need to make sure that they can walk around perfectly fine. They still kind of interact with the surrounding area. They're not kind of breaking themselves or anything along those lines. Um, so one of the worst things that you do with an AI trying to figure out how it wants to get from point A to point B, you get to a point where it has two different paths and it goes, oh, I don't know which route to take, and it just kind of goes back and forth with each other. So there's obviously quite a bit of testing that I'm going to need to do when it comes down to that. Um, Need to. There's definitely going to be a lot of testing that needs to be done for balancing issues. Now, another thing that I need to state as well is the fact that these art assets that I have right now, these are free art assets, and I don't intend for these to be the finale when it comes to art assets. I just suck when it comes to drawing them, so at some point in time, I might need to shed some dollar bills to try to purchase some kind of art that might work, or maybe try to find some kind of artist that is willing to help me out with this particular concept. I mean, I don't know how I can pay them right at this time. Um, Maybe I can offer like a percentage of sales, but that's a risk for them as well because what happens if you know I'm planning for this game to be something simple to download, something simple to play, something to be played on mobile phones and the PC currently. And right now in my mind, I'm just thinking I'll just sell it for like $1. Okay, buck download, you know, kind of aspect. So, um, something cheap, but at the same time try to build it in such a way where it can be replayable, so people can actually get a lot out of that 99 cent kind of aspect. Give them that challenge. Um, could it be worth more? Probably. Probably. I mean, um, but um, with me being a an unknown developer, I don't want to I don't want to put a huge amount on a game that is untested. Is um, I have no name brand to associate with a game kind of aspect, so I can't put. I don't want to like having like a arrogance factor on it kind of aspect. Like I put tons of hours into this game. I should deserve $20 for this product. No, no, I can't have that mentality. I want to be able to show that I can actually come up with something and it's cheap enough for anyone to buy and allowed to build out my name as a developer, as a game designer, as a game developer, and um, and hope that the people that actually purchase these games are enjoying them for the most part. Um, so once I get it down to more of a finished product, then I'll try to open it up for um, like an alpha or beta testing kind of aspect, because I myself, I'm not going to be able to kind of see all the potential problems that might be there. I'm going to try to head off as many as I can, but let's face it, um, I'm not going to be able to, with the amount of agents, um, barriers that can be produced, you know, um, there's going to be a lot of factors in balancing, and I myself, I might not be able to see all the potential problems. So I'm going to try to open it up for beta testing so that others can kind of come on and check it out and give me the feedback that I need in order to iron out the game, find out where the bugs are, and try to fix said bugs. So um, obviously that's going to be further down the road. It's just myself working on this particular project. Um, if an artist wants to try to come on in and give me some concept art for the ghouls, ghosts, and goblins, the humans, um, the trappers, the hunters. Now, I'm not intending this game to be like totally scary. You know, um, I mean, there's going to be. Um, I want this game to be kind of more for everybody. An everybody kind of game. So so kids, teenagers, adults can all kind of enjoy it. So that means that the art needs to kind of reflect that. Um, so for example, in my mind, uh, the art style would be uh, not an exact copy of it, obviously, but um, similar in style to, say, um, Plants vs. Zombies, for example. The goofy nature of the art, so that um, uh, you know, like the trappers, for example. I wasn't quite sure um, what what they would have per se in that will allow for them to trap. Um, you know, um, at one point in time, I was thinking maybe a ghoul will, walk around with a cake and put it down on the ground, going, "Hey, humans, here's a birthday cake. Come and eat it." And the human comes, starts munching down on the cake, and ghoul goes, "Grab, yay! I got a human," kind of aspect. That kind of uh, that kind of silly nature of it all. You know, um, I don't necessarily want, uh, you know, I mean, if I wanted to, I probably could make it, totally gory or something like that. Maybe could do like a um, first-person view of it or something like that. Maybe, I don't really know. And you can see the ghoul, you know, tearing apart a human or something like that, or ghost ripping off limbs or whatever. You know, um, it could go full horror if I really wanted to, because I mean, let's face it, ghouls, ghosts, and goblins are not typically those kind of monsters that is typically shown in a positive light more often than not. So, not that humans are that much better, but still. um, so yeah, that's where we are at right at this point in time. So, but now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to get these spawn points working on this, and not quite sure how to properly do it with what I currently have right at the moment. Hmm. Everything is in maze set with um, hex tiles and hex tile keys. However, these particular tiles here, the ghost, ghoul, goblin, and human, um, they those are set as you know as tiles. So how how do I make this work for me? Let's see, what's this? Nothing. Nothing in particular. Okay. Um. Yeah. Um. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay. Um. Right now, I'm currently using um, free tile assets for the map. Okay. And I'm not intending for that to be the end all of it. I mean, this is these particular um, those particular art assets is just a placeholder for now. Okay, just to say, hey, these are three different resources. Okay, same with the same with the tiles themselves, kind of aspect. And the cities. These are all as art assets that I really don't want to keep, because I do want to eventually have a human city that looks like a human city. You know, have something like a goblin city look like a goblin city. You know, I want the forest to look like forest and be able to kind of, a forest that eventually dwindles down too. So there's a lot of concepts that I have in my brain as to what um, there's a lot of concepts that I want to do with the art themselves, but I myself, I'm not an artist, so um, it would take me quite a bit um, to kind of build this for how it needs to be, or how I envision it. So if an artist wants to kind of hop in on this particular project, then let me know. Um, I would be kind of interested to see what you've done in the past, um, or it, or at the very least, um, give me some concept drawings of what you would picture, kind of aspect of it, and then we can kind of talk more. But obviously, so far I haven't had any um, artists join me on these particular programming aspects, so um, hard to kind of get the word out for that until later when I really meet them. So time to fall asleep to your voice again. Well, sleep well there, corpse. Thanks for stopping on by and listening. I appreciate it. Um, so so there's still more to kind of work on this, but um, I'm only doing this once a week, so it's not like I'm rushing it. Um, so of course, my friend, any day. Um, so yeah. Um, so how do I get the? Don't know if I can really use this at all. The way the steps here to try to make it work within this particular for loop isn't working the way I want it to work, because I'm trying to use tiles to get it, for the um, for the locations here.
You don't know how to tell a story, Glenn. You get lost in detail, right? You try to
Hmm.
focus on the
I
line.
am trying to paint a picture.
Nobody cares if it doesn't impact the story.
So
lot of build up for a tiny little.
Yeah, and sometimes three or four members, it just like
I think I'm gonna have to soak it up.
You do like virgin.
I think I'm gonna have to deal with a for loop
Your breath smells like farts, and your farts smell like fruit. You need to see a doctor. And Marcus, why do you smell like a
and
common
do a
roach?
lot of
I use
checks
Steven while I drive to work, and most of the time it spills.
to try to get this to work properly because I don't think I can get this.
Unusually large diaphragm. And there's
Um,
two of us.
I don't think I can get this to work within
Wow, when Amy chews chips,
the
I
establishment
just
of the maze.
Aren't you just like a customer?
yeah, Terry.
Hi, Terry. Shut the hell up.
yeah, you're not a customer.
This is about time
Oh.
we go through the mail process again.
Hey, why don't you go spewing soft lines?
Bye.
Get out of here.
Don't think I can do that. So,
What about
um,
Barging in here like he's part of the family?
okay, who hi? Hi?
Gary.
so let's see if
Yeah, that's exactly what he sounds like.
So good.
Nailed it. Okay, so if I had to use someone here, it would be
hmm,
Len. Because he eats a lot of sugar, so he'd be the sweetest.
Oh, thank you. My blood sugar is really high. I'm pretty diabetic.
Personally, I wouldn't eat anyone over the age of 35. I know there's no expiration date on people, but I will every time.
Oh, David!
so I'm probably gonna need to do something like this.
Okay, with this jury point, this suit is too intense for court from a jury. It's not quite full-body enough to become an actor/slash. RC jury point.
It's multi-body.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, don't necessarily need to worry about.
How are you so good? You never golfed before like a year ago.
I never played golf, but I used to mini golf all the time.
Big golf?
Yeah. If we make it out here alive, I take you back to the mini golf course.
You're not taking me in?
Yeah. You
Let's
should.
see.
What?
Right now. Right now.
Uh,
Would you like to do something?
Now,
Looks like a fun basketball practice.
Oh, excuse me, this place open? What's your name?
what are we looking at here?
Benoit Barma? You're the most guy. You should have told us. We might want to put on a shirt. Woo!
342.
Hey, Craig, it's the tape.
Okay, let's see where that is and why we're having a problem with it.
President Stewart.
Nope. We're at orange juice.
I gotta see your stats in my office.
On it.
Tina!
Hi, Tina.
I just covered this juice for fun.
Okay, this is being referenced somewhere, and that's where it's getting the error at. Okay, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and. Oh, wait. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set that to
Why do you not get to the next morning? Instead,
take care of that. We're going to go ahead and remove these for now.
streak of revenge stabbings, bitch battling
Don't
time.
need them anymore.
What do you say?
We can't hear anything you're saying.
What?
Okay, so
Can't hear anything you're saying.
Sorry, I've maybe I've been hearing you over the birds.
Maybe Tina shouldn't have brought her live-bird birds into work.
The birds are suffering
okay,
severely.
so
What am I supposed to do? Leave them home alone?
I mean, it is true. I guess you can do that.
um,
If Tina didn't bring in her birds, I left them in the backyard. He's very sick with dysentery.
Dysentery?
if
He's in a damn butthole. That's because he eats something that
say
turns his
spawn
taste buds guilt
locations dot
free.
The birds
count.
have got small berries, cat food, fruit, and
Okay, oh,
undigested.
Good evening, everyone.
0. And turn all
Today we celebrate St. Valentine.
else.
Which means me. So grab your family cupcake. I'll take a photo
Okay.
that represents the full flow
Just
of
making sure that
Valentine's.
there's
You take care of
um,
the biscuit yourself.
What are you getting me for Valentine's Day?
Is it Valentine's Day?
just so we can kind of not have any
Two things.
problems with this per se. Let's see.
Forget it. I'll just text her.
Hmm.
Love is in the air.
Oh, come on. Don't go all cynical on me. It's a sunny day. This is our first Valentine's as daters. Only a good word for an adult relationship.
Boyfriend girlfriend is how we were in 8th grade.
Lovers is gross.
Ugh. Partners?
Wait,
See.
lesbians that hung a candle tent together?
Airplanes?
Get goal
Honey,
spawn.
sweeties?
Happy, happy, happy.
No? You don't like Japanese food?
I don't like Japanese food.
Give me a sweet.
How much would it be for this one toasty? I don't think the whole thing.
Wow, flavor. Hey, so you guys don't have plans. I'm going to an anti-Valentine's Day party tonight with my college friends.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a ton of weed, and the flyer says no one can be turned away. I'll go.
Gary's working late again tonight, so I'm on my own.
Oh, again?
Funny that his friend's gonna repeat the same route again.
Yeah. Sandra, you have any plans for tonight? Nope.
Can I set these to null up here? It's typically bad form to be kind of initializing these at the very top.
Hey, Luna. So, I don't know what you thought you saw me getting deep in the woods with. Oh, I know what I saw. Like Winnie the Pooh in the honey pot. What happened was I had spilled coffee on my pants, so I took them off to dry, and Sarah came over to help, but he tripped and tipped over into my pot, so he's not gonna tell anyone about this little affair. Thank you. I hate having secrets. Although the same thing around has been feelings. Nope,
Hmm.
nope, nope, that's
Okay, so
thank you.
let's see if we can get this to kind of work for us a little
He
bit
said
more.
sorry and he was gonna kill his body.
Elias, I'm gonna need you to clean up the vomit that's gonna be all over the ladies' bathroom in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
Go on. Everyone's calm. No eye contact. Seems like a lot of work just to buy some chips. I'm not gonna let some swindlers stop me from getting my morning Takis. You know, we sell Takis in the store.
Hmm.
But I like the little ones.
Okay,
My
we got
brain
everything kind of working
swells.
out just
All
fine
right, let me
there.
know what you need.
So you want Shannon to enter your mom's face on your back as a gift to your mom.
Tom was going to go to pro because he knocked an opponent with a tattoo parlor on Elmhurst.
Don't worry, my instructions have been asked done in class.
Okay,
Anytime
so
the guy needs, he comes back.
Sorry, I'm so out of this. You want a tattoo of your mom for your mom on Valentine's Day?
Look, I'm a gentle guy. And the tattoo will be a surprise for when she scratches my back while I fall asleep. Don't make this weird.
Yeah, I made it weird.
Whose sweater makes me look more like a wise dad, the charcoal or the smoke?
I think the charcoal.
That's the smoke. Right, please, bro, get on your back.
okay, so
What are you thinking about?
Well, I'm making videos of myself for Rose to watch when I'm not home. You know, I work 360.
how am I gonna go about doing this here?
Wait, why? Why are you working that many hours?
Well, you know, I get here by 4 a.m. to walk to the store, and then there's the work day, and then after closing, it takes me 2 hours to prepare my script for the next morning training meeting.
Those are prepared comments?
No, I just come up with all that off the top of my head. Come on, Angie.
Hmm.
Careful, careful. I'm being careful. I don't need you telling me to be careful. All right, here we go.
Let's
Nice
see, let me
job.
look back up Unity tile again here real quick.
Steady hands. I was going to be a surgeon, but
Hmm. Let's see. Um,
I feel so bad for her. It's like with kids, you know, you can be the best parent, and then one day you forget to lock your tapes, and they're gone. I know I shouldn't be able to explain.
It wasn't Tina, it was Garrett.
hmm.
What?
Yeah, it was a mistake. He wanted these monkeys. We had to leave there anyway, and he cracked the door open, and the birds just all flew out.
What? This is not gonna leave it for 1 second. Help me call my bird.
Yes, sure.
What is happening, babe? Ooh, I thought you weren't seeing anyone.
It's not
Let's
like
see.
kind of complicated.
Yeah. Oh, I was just remembering the time you wanted everyone to think you had a boyfriend, so you kept sending yourself Valentine's gifts from Jeff. I think it was
Okay,
really
I'm going
sweet.
to go ahead and set
Look, you're my Sandy Bear. Love, Antonio Lasagna.
set a point here real quick.
Oh, thank you.
And run the debugger.
It's Italian, probably. It sounds Italian.
I want to see what's inside in maze right at the moment.
This one to answer is used to read to me when I was little. It's called You Can Do It. Timmy wants to be an astronaut and fly a rocket to space. You can do it, Timmy. Molly wants to be an astronaut too and use that much time to wave Jimmy places. You can do it. Oh, I'm not really a liar. No,
Okay, don't really need
maybe it's time
561.
America got some community orientals.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Even Doug's keeping me
Okay,
okay. Oh, if all you words are for that look on my mom's face when she takes my shirt off.
Totally, totally.
so
Mm.
Can you hang on 1 more second? I just have to tell Mateo something before I send that.
What are you talking about?
Are you scared too?
It's way harder than you thought. Take your glasses.
My fingers are so numb when I touch any grapefruits, and I thought it would be the same, but it's not. The skin is all mushy and clingy.
Oh, it's so hard to love yourself, okay? You're just not nearly as bad as you thought. What? It's just so amazing. Is your mother a model?
Kinda. She used to wear the Fredbird costume for carnivals.
I didn't say that.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, what do you think? I think I left most of everything hidden away at this point.
okay.
Never should have left him in that cheap cave with that crap rock. This is why we're together, Tina. Mature, dedicated leaders.
Tina, you have to really explain yourself.
We don't have to. I just need to find out kind of where this is safe. Maybe that will work out.
No, Tina,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I've already
So this is where we're
experienced
gonna
joy,
have a problem here
excitement,
because
experienced irresistible challenges. Oh, I was quiet.
okay. So let me try to explain here a little bit. Um, let's make sure that we're not kind of crashing right at the moment. No, we're good. Okay, so we're trying to set the spawns, right? So as you can kind of see there in this particular instance of the run through, there are 6 temp dictionaries set up. 4 that are their own different sets. 1 temp dictionary that has 5 different um, 5 different spaces. You know, the path of 5, and then we have one that has 501 unique pathways.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I can't do that. How am I supposed to do that? Just pretend you
I won't know which one of these out of the 600 different tiles is going to be the human city, the goblin city, the ghoul city, or the ghost city. 4 cities out of that entire batch. So I have to figure out a way to quickly find them. Now, I already have tiles that are set for those cities as tiles. So now it's a matter of, can I find the,
You got a pretty standout team.
Good. Except I wish we knew how it works by now.
can I find the right
Well,
location with
probably
each of
all
these?
over.
Yep. No matter how far
So,
away they are.
um,
Good. So I did not.
so let's see. We have
I
the.
mentioned her, but we both messed up.
What about you? What
I
did
want to
you do?
create a. Um, I want to try to. Let's see, where's my.
This one?
Because I love it.
So here's my hex tile key. Um, so
What are you doing? Not gonna get looked up anymore. I mean, things might still come back. The birds have like a great sense of direction, right?
You know what the song is? Maybe we have to New Mexico by now.
That's a good point.
hmm,
Like a dead ending, or an archery event, or a really clear window. It's all we really need.
Well, the fact is that
Although I guess it is possible if we found our way back to that
hmm.
mountain.
it is.
Yeah, I mean, a few of them could have found the way, the rest just followed.
That's awesome. Let's go check it out right now.
Well, you really care about this, huh?
No, no, I don't. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
We're here in the woods. No
So
woods.
let's
We've got a name.
see. If
Here comes some folio.
we might not necessarily need.
Folio.
Hmm.
Oh no! Oh.
Wow. That sure is something. So where should we talk about it?
Think
Hmm.
my mom will be surprised?
Oh yeah, she's gonna be shocked.
Hey, Joanna, want to see what my mom looks like in my bag? No, thanks. I'm busy.
Excuse me.
Hey, keep going. Oh. Ow! Oh! God! Why?
Are you actually mad at me?
A little bit, yeah.
I gotta figure this part out here. The set spawns.
You can't
Um,
expect me to side with your demons, right?
see if I can actually get it to kind of work with me here on this. So,
Great. Well, you know what we gotta do?
say,
Find somebody to get her referral.
Just don't want any kids.
Oh, come on.
say hex tile key,
I love you too. That has nothing to do with what we're talking
um,
about. And I'm pretty sure the boat just hit a
temp
storm.
key,
That's what we said.
is equal
Sorry, what was
to
that? Carmel!
new
Billy!
hex tile
Oh,
key,
God, where are you guys? Why won't you let us
um,
in?
Garrett, it's okay. We're fine.
Damn it!
human city tile,
What's so sad about this design?
Yeah, man, I love those guys.
You're gonna have to get used to being alone.
I ain't getting here alone. I
human
mean,
city tile.
I'm here. Who's Billy? Garrett. Billy the Kid. No,
Hmm.
no, Matt. Look, Tina, um, I need to, I wanted to,
Let's go ahead and stop this.
Leave it good.
Stop
It's a
that.
work in progress. Thank you. You know what? No, look. Here's the deal. This was not what I wanted. Whoa, wait, where are you going? Sorry, I gotta go take a bathroom. What are you doing, Teddy? You're not putting your clothes on. Oh, can you clean for me?
Let's make sure that everything's okay here.
Thanks. Not just for the text, but I mean, it was decent. Sure. I mean,
Oh, right.
makes it easier to through. I guess we wouldn't care for each other, huh? Yeah. I mean, it was better than decent. It just wasn't great. You know, it was.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of
Okay,
afraid of.
like okay.
Um,
You know, did our fun match? Sure. This is great. Makes me decide whether you're ready for round two.
Now you're probably in a lot of pain right now, so you're probably not feeling it, right?
Good point. Maybe you see how we're seeing it. You're feeling better with this.
Yeah, and the reason for the hat is because moms today have to wear so many different hats, or like one big hat.
Oh, oh, maybe not. How's that? What have you done to me?
So, Sharky, you released it as Ruby's profile, allowed her to believe it was her fault, persuaded her to go buy her apartment, and then proceeded to have sex with her like she was 17 years old?
Twice. You did it twice.
What is wrong with you?
Just want some happiness, you know? Rolled up tortilla chips, gonna play with them in the morning, and then went to sex with her.
You know, let's
hmm.
get to the scary part of this, which is all of it. This is all your fault.
No, you're right. I'm at fault.
No, no, absolutely not. She was never the pighead. The one who said he should control. Yes, that was awful. Before Agnes defended this episode inside about her first murder without fixing like a sex drive or a lowest moment. Absolutely not. No, sir. She will not know any of this.
Listen, so I'm supposed to sit alone with this for the rest of my life? I can't live with regret.
Well, shoot. Fair. Fine with that.
While I have you, we said we loved each other, so pretty cool. Oh, what are you doing? Have to take Sandra?
Um,
Sandra? Is she the one that comes to party? Same with like Dawson Syndrome. Sounds really fun, but no thank you.
Hey, goodness, Justine. She obviously did plan tonight to get hammered.
hey, that's
You want to
contains.
try some yum? Call me. They better have food at this party. Hopefully they told me how to bring people. I really hate her.
Me too, Sandra.
Girls, I am so sorry I couldn't be there for your wedding day.
Hmm.
But I am so happy for you and your husband. Or wife. Sandra, I don't know what the future is like. Just don't make the same mistakes I made, okay? Spending all your time at work and missing out on those precious moments. If I could go back in time and do it all over again, I...
Let's see. Missionary. That's
Yeah,
key.
just the adventure.
So where are we from here?
Surprise.
Just head out to the cellar? Because I gotta get ready for bed.
You guys heading out?
Yeah, we're going to dinner.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'd go with you, but I have to go confirm your husband and... Wow, I guess I don't have to go with you indefinitely. You know what? I can go with you.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Sure, great.
So where are we headed?
It's this place off 44 called Arrow Estates.
I don't know why
It's
the
very tapas themed.
Talking real quick. Not enough vegan options. I do know of a grocery store that has tables. That way we can all do our own thing. Or, oh, have you guys ever been to Super Tofu? It's not great, but you do not need reservations.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
it
the
kind of smells bad, but you get used to it after a
um,
while, right?
we're having kind of a problem trying to find that function for the dictionary there, but
Attention, bottom line
hmm,
stars and employees.
okay,
We're gonna take this moment to say goodbye. This is my
so
last day as manager here. I'm stepping down
I need
from
to
my
kind of work
manager.
on this a little bit more, obviously. Um,
Thank you for mentioning that.
I always need to. He's been doing the same speech every hour. He wants to cover as many customers as possible. I've heard it 5 times. Scaring me, really.
The second phase. Well, you've been helping people find light bulbs and paper towels. You've also been helping me
okay,
find my
and
cat.
okay, so
My name is on a
there's
lot of
that.
these
So we got that
building
kind of
permit
taken care
files.
of.
Or maybe dry sweeping is the reason why those groundworm eggs go airborne.
Obviously, there's still more for me to kind of clean up
So
here.
are you accepting?
Um,
I finally get to stop sucking up to this guy, right?
That's what you've been doing?
So now that you're becoming a former, what do we call you?
Glenn's fine.
Glenn?
so
Is his name Dana sounding manager?
No, thank you. Though I call out Red Glenn. Right,
So I
Walmart?
think I'm gonna
Where's the
do
rest?
something along the lines of
National Glove Market says
int
that attorneys are having the worst.
That means they'll be
x
late.
equals 0,
So who's taking over?
Well, I'm hoping it's you.
Oh.
while
I mean, hi, Dad. So I had the authority to intervene, and she.
Oh, shit.
x is less than 5. Okay, gonna take all this, put it inside the while loop there, at least for now. Let's see, I plus plus, there we go. Or not I, x.
You're here for Zane?
Sorry,
Yeah,
we're just
so
processing past
then we'll do a switch
Really? So where should I place these when you're out?
in our
In your
case
loft.
in our locker.
0, case 1,
So what are these?
case 2,
TBI.
We
case
went to Thanksgiving when he did.
3.
Well, not radio states?
Yeah, but he does it with his dad. It's really nice.
Okay, and then we'll just switch off the key for each one of these.
This whole tonnage? It's only supposed to be able to do 18 pages in one day. I got it to 25. Straight from club dissolution.
That's a story I'll remember.
Yeah. You like it? You should.
All right.
Oh, no, I
Oh, no, come on. It's too live.
It's a whole bunch. Can I give this back full of cash?
Whoa. Oh, that's my rainy day fund. Corporate sets aside a certain amount of the budget for miscellaneous maintenance, so whenever you don't use it, I just take it out in cash and set it aside. You know how those things work.
But anything you spend is on maintenance.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, if I need it, get it maintenance done.
All right.
Everything is maintenance.
Then we need to break.
Told them you spent money you didn't spend. Then you shook him
Apparently I need that for each and every single last one of these,
Isn't that embezzlement?
No, embezzlement isn't a good
because
thing.
apparently it doesn't like the fact that
Bedazzlement
you
also
can't put a break, or you have to put a break at the very last case, otherwise it complains. I don't know why. It's supposed to just kind of drop out anyway, but whatever. Maybe it has a hidden default case. I don't really know. But this is all temporary right at this point in time. So
Listen, Dad, I was wondering if you could get my name to switch out. You want to be manager?
there's still a bit for me to kind of get through on this, try to figure out how I want to
That's your way of being
tackle this particular.
Sorry, I really love to interview you, but I actually have another candidate in mind.
how to actually tackle all this. So for now, it's coming to the end of my stream, folks. I gotta log out. I gotta close everything down. So these videos are being posted to my YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out. I have links to my YouTube channel down below, as well as links to my Discord, my Patreon, and my Twitter accounts. Those are all available down below on my Twitch channel, as well as in the description of my YouTube videos. So feel free to check those out. If you have any kind of questions or whatnot, leave a comment. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. If there's something else that you're interested in, like, say for example the artist drawings kind of aspect, come see me on Discord. Hop on my Discord, leave a message for me, and let me know what you guys think on that. I'm just kind of looking for sprites right at the moment, so nothing too fancy or anything along those lines. Animation is going to be necessary. So I'm going to need those sprites to be able to, you know, imitate movement. It doesn't need to be, exact. So it doesn't need to be like super elaborate or anything along those lines. Just something to give the illusion of movement. So, but we can kind of cover that later if you are interested. Again, I can't really pay upfront very easily right at this moment in time. So yeah, that's gonna be it for now, there, folks. So I'm gonna have to close this down for the time being. Wait for um, wait for next week to get this working properly. This right here isn't working. I know that. I don't even know why this isn't coming up um, on the context menu. So there's a slight problem here, I think. And then there's the matter of trying to actually set the locations based off of the tile. Don't know if I really want to do that or not. Maybe I'll go with the hex tile on this, but we'll see. But for now, that's where I'm going to leave it. So thank you very much for that, folks. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow when I'm going to be continuing Warframe. So um, Warframe is my Monday, Tuesday um, time slots. So if that interests you, stop on by, same time, 2 p.m. PST every single day. So hopefully I'll see you there. So take care, have a good night, and I'll see you strangers next time.